Shefflin, Liam Sheedy and Cyril Farr. You're welcome, gentlemen. All set, Cyril?
Yeah.
Are the favourites going through?
There's two boys here waiting for me since the league final. I fancied our lads since the league final. I went for them then and I still go over them. Now, Michael out there today, now it's slightly different. There's a nice breeze, but more than that, a nice squib of a shower early on. Pitch is very slippy. Not saying about the concert of that, but like definitely the ground is slippy. You can see the miners flying around, same with the under-17s. But look at, anything can happen. The last few games, like, has been very, very tight between Galway and Tip. Like, both occasions, Tip won that. Galway could have won. The year before, Galway won, Tip could have won. But the big difference was that in the last 10 years, Tipperary have got two titles where Galway haven't. Now, they're still, in Galway, there still wants to make the breakthrough. And I suppose there's that question mark the whole time. But definitely this team are around long enough. It's time for now to stand up and maybe do the business today.
It's been tight, obviously, between the two in recent years. The minor match was just finished there, and Galway have won it by a point.
Yeah, like, it's funny. Last year's team had a lot from the year before. Last year's team, Michael, from Galway had a lot from the year before. Talking to Jeffrey Linsky and John Cummins, these guys, they had kind of a new team this year, but they felt that they were kind of coming right and really buying into it. And it was a right tough match there. It was a draw at full time and into extra time. It's a good win to go into a final, but I think Cork would be the slight favourites. They look very, very impressive in Munster.
Sure, okay. Liam, I've asked him how he's feeling. You're pointing out, by the way, to Cyril earlier on. Cyril is after dropping the programme, is after dropping the notes off the desk. You reckon he's nervous?
Well, I just hope that the Galway team are in the centre state of what Cyril is up here. But no, I think we get a cracking match. I think two teams, Tip, got into the qualifiers, found momentum. Tip will probably need to play to a level above what they've played for the rest of the. But they are all Ireland champions. And if there's one place that should bring a team alive, it is Croke Park in August. And I think that's what all Tipperary people are hoping for. But in fairness to Galway, they've gone about their business. It's not Galway's fault that they haven't been tested year to date in the championship. They've just been too good for the opposition that they've faced so far. But I expect they'll get a real test today. Yeah.
Henry Shefflin was pointing out there's two Galway men here in the studio. So, Henry, you've decided to be a Tip supporter today.
Oh, my God, don't be getting me in trouble back home, Michael.
There's no such thing as a Kilkenny man supporting. You should know that way.
No, I do know that. By the way, Henry is a casualty here in the studio today. Hurt yourself in a club match last night, Henry.
Yeah, unfortunately, my old friends, the crutches, are back beside me, Michael, today. So, just... I think my mind was telling me to go one way, but my body was telling me not to go another way, and I just pivoted on my knee, so I hurt my knee today. So the lads are looking after me very kindly here today.
In for a scan on Tuesday before you know what's the story is.
Yeah, no, it's just the knee is very swollen and everything like that. So come Tuesday, hopefully, I'll know what the situation is.
All right, well, look, we wish you well with that.
Thank you very much.
Who do you fancy today?
Yeah, well, I think it's very hard on the call. Everyone leading up to it, every pundit is kind of to and fro between it. But you have to go on form, and that's as pundits we do. We go on form, and the form at the moment is with Galway. We're not quite sure about Tipperary yet. We're all expecting them to show up today, but I think Galway, just on current form and just the level they're at, should get them over the line.
I suppose because of the legacy between Galway and Tipperary down through the years, this kind of makes it all a bit peculiar, because if you talk to anybody who says, who do you think is going to win the All-Ireland, they'll say Galway. And then ask them who's going to win the match today, they're not quite sure.
Well, like it's funny, the Tip lads in the hotel opposite, and the jury's there, Michael, they're saying, are we going to turn up? It's like, they know well, like Liam has referred to there, if the Tipperary team of last year, the form that they showed last year in the All-Ireland especially, turn up, they're going to beat anyone. But they haven't shown that form this year. They showed a bit early on, got caught by Galway in the league final, then got beaten by Cork. So they're kind of feeling that little bit, not as kind of as confident as they should be. Now they're full back.
They're great against Westmeath the next day.
Then they got the run, and they were always going to win the other matches. And to be fair, they got ahead of clear. They've changed their full back line, which shows that they're Barry's gone back in full back, Mickey Cal gone corner, and Leeson gone back in goals. Now, talking to the boys here, it always happens. The line you think is going to be in trouble, they could have blinders. But it does show that they're not happy with the team. Whereas Galway, like, are going to be more or less the same team the whole time. They're playing, they think they're good enough. But Galway haven't really got any real test yet, because in the championship so far, all the teams have played extra backs. So our 6 backs were on 4 forwards. It meant the forwards were being crowded out, weren't able to get the goals. But today you're going to see 6 on 6 in both ends. So you should have a great game.
Well, I think, Michael, and your point is that it is true, but Cyril, I know, is trying to deflect it on Tipperary. But the big question today is when the test comes for Galway. They have the players, they have the physique, they have the talent, but it's when that test with 20 minutes to go on, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. Because I think Tip will perform. It's how Galway perform and react when the pressure comes on.
That is the question. All right, now this is, as we said earlier, a big rivalry between these two counties. It was one that was really nurtured towards the late 80s, when Galway were the top performers and Tip were re-emerging onto the big stage. They clashed actually in the championship 5 times in 7 years. Cyril Farrell here, he was the Galway manager at that time. Babs Keating was the man at the helm in Tip. So we got the two of them together recently to reminisce on those special days. There, Cyril, happy days to look back on for both sides.
Yeah, they were looking back, they were fantastic, around the top the whole time. Look at the guys you'll be fighting hardest against are the lads you're going to make the best friends with. Babs had been with us in '79 as coach. I used to travel up and down from Dublin with him. And it was a thrill of minute with Babs because he'd be doing not one thing, he'd be doing 10 things. And then we were against another on the line. We remained great friends throughout it. And I'll never forget one time we were in an all-star tour. And Pat Fox was an all-star sub cornerback. And I was in the dressing room, I'm very sorry to say it. I said, anyway, we were stuck for forwards. I said, can anyone play in the forwards? I said, Fox said, I can. He scored about 8 goals in 2 matches. He came back, wound up corner forward and Tip and broke our hearts. Oh God, was I sorry? Was I sorry? He could have a corner back, went on to become a great player. You had Fox one corner, English Stud, and Big Bonner in the middle. And you had John Leahy and Pete Ferrant used to take chunks of one another. Became great friends. That's the way it was.
But indeed, some of the hits that we saw there, or the challenges that we saw there, Liam, I don't think they'd pass muster now.
No, different times. That's for sure. Different times.
Well, this lad used to do it. This lad, don't worry.
But they were great battles, But even if you roll on the clock, if you go back to when we beat Galway in the quarter-final in 2010, we got the last 3 points, and that gave us, I suppose, the impetus to go on and win the All-Ireland. And the last 2 years, it's been a puck about 1 point a game. It's amazing. They've met 28 times in the championship. It's 21 to Tip, it's 7 to Galway, and there's never been a draw. Maybe today could be the day where they actually go and we don't manage to get a winner. But I know some people are saying, I think some people are looking at the Tip team that we've seen in the championship so far. And that's the unknown today, to know, can Tip bring what we know, what they were capable of here last year, where, they beat Kilkenny in All-Ireland final, playing absolutely majestic hurling. They haven't got to the pitch of that this year, and that's what they need to find today. And if they do, I think they have a real chance. But that's the big question. Even any Tip people you talk to coming into the ground, which Tip are we going to see today? Because if we see the Tip that we've seen year to date, that's not going to be good enough.
No, that's the point that you were making, Henry, a little bit earlier on. That's the very, very big question. And I suppose it's one of those things, and this is classic of all these situations, isn't it? We'll all be awful wise around 5:30 this evening, kind of.
That's it, but we have to go on form.
People will be saying, sure, how could they have done it?
Yeah, exactly. But I think Liam's point is right, because they aren't, and there's too many of them that are kind of playing well one day, not as well the other day. While Galway's trajectory has been just on another upward curve all along, And I just think Cyril referenced the point. He said we'd been around a few years, 87, 88, and we came together. Very similar to this current Galway team. They're around a few years. There hasn't been that many changes over the last couple of years. That defensive unit, and defenders win matches. I know forwards will score the most, but the defensive unit have been playing together. And I think whichever defence, because they're the question marks over both defences, whichever defence plays well, but there's nothing like playing together, knowing when to turn, knowing when to go, when not to go. And Galway have that, and that's that bit of momentum they're carrying in. And Tip have the more question marks, but it's just, there's so much to look forward to. Since this draw was made, it's just been really, everyone's looking forward.
But I think building on that point, though, we talk about Tip having question marks. This Galway team, there's serious question marks over Galway, because they've been right to the cusp of it a few times, and they haven't managed to squeeze themselves over the line. So, there's a reason why they're nearly 30 years away for another one. And that pressure, whether we like it or not, that's building in there. So, we're all saying, I suppose they delivered in the league in the latter stages, they delivered in the Leinster Championship. Can they deliver the performance now when you hit the All-Ireland series? And that is the question mark, because I think there's question marks in Galway.
Yeah, but you're right, Liam, and the thing is, winning the league and winning the Leinster title is lovely. But if they don't push on and win this year's All-Ireland, I know that to be Tip to that, and whoever is in the Water Cork. There is a window of opportunity with Kilkenny coming back to the pack. They've been around for a while, and my feeling is if they don't push through it now, it'll make it harder for this group of players. Now is a great opportunity. Tip were favourites all started the year. They are the All-Ireland champions, and if they click like that, it'll be hard to stop. But I feel if Galway could get 5 or 6 up here on, and kind of keep the fear out, keep the doubt in them. But as Henry said, Galway still have to do it. We have to do it on the big day. That's the big question mark. Because that's why, Michael, even last week, great week in Galway at the races, but everyone was saying, we're not too sure. They were still only afraid to say we're going to win.
I know. So well, we're going to find out very soon, that's for sure. Now, actually, a little while ago here at Croke Park, we had this year's under-17 final. That brought together Cork and Dublin, with the inaugural trophy going to Cork. And that was on a scoreline of 1 goal and 19 points to 1 goal and 17 points. Joint captains accepting the trophy. Here at Croke Park, we are looking forward to this afternoon's All-Ireland hurling semi-final between Galway and Tipperary. It is a 5th championship meeting between the counties in the past decade, with the balance clearly in Tip's favour, 4-1 in fact. Now, let's give you details about how today's rivals are going to line out. In the commentary box for us this afternoon, it is Ger Canning.
Thank you very much indeed, Michael. Well, certainly the atmosphere is building here, and I think a summer would hardly be complete in the championship without a meeting of these two teams. And Michael, based on the last couple of years, there's only the toss of a coin between them.
Yeah, look, you could argue that the form doesn't really matter coming into the game, that it's 50-50, but I don't think you can ignore the way the Tipperary defence has been playing. It would be a big ask, I think, for them to improve that much. I know they've made a few changes, put James Barry back at full back, but I just think that Galway, on all-known form, should be strong enough to win it.
Well, that's Michael Duignan's view. Let's check on the two sides then, starting with Galway. And Galway's goalkeeper today is Colm Calden, who made his debut 10 years ago. His full back line shows Adrian Toohey, who suffered a hand injury in the corresponding game last year, plus the ice-cool Daithí Burke in the centre and John Hanbury. Pádraig Mannion is an efficient wing-back, Gearóid McInerney hoping to reprise his league final performance against Tip, and then the adaptable Aidan Hart on the opposite wing. The centre-field partnership of Johnny Cohn and David Burke is now a very well-established one. This time last year, number 11 Joe Canning had scored 5 points by half-time when injury struck at a stage where Galway led the match by 2 points. Today, he'll be hoping for a complete change of fortunes. And in the inside forward line, Niall Burke is picked at full forward but could swap with Cathal Mannion, while Conor Cooney is looking for another bumper harvest following his 8-point scoring spree here against Wexford. Facing them will be a Tipperary side with experienced goalkeeper Darren Gleeson getting the nod ahead of Dara Mooney from Éire Óg-Anacarty. He'll be looking for added protection today from a full back line which has James Barry now at number 3 and a recall for Michael Cahill in the left corner. No changes at half-back, with Seamus Kennedy looking confident, Ronan Maher assured, and his older brother Pádraig set for another rugged battle against Galway. In midfield, Brendan Maher will look for greater prominence this afternoon alongside Michael Breen. And then the supply lines at half forward may well be opened up by Dan McCormack and Patrick Bonner-Maher, while Noel McGrath was clearly back to his best against Clare in Porky Queen. And unlike in the Alliance League final, Tipper relieved to have Seamus Callanan back to full health, while obvious danger is presented by the two Johns, O'Dwyer and McGrath. Tipperary manager Michael Ryan appreciates the enormity of the challenge facing his defending All-Ireland champions, because for some time now, Micheál Donoghue's Galway have been the fancy of many to replace them as Hurling's number 1. It's time we heard from both men.
Is there ever this fear of complacency, even when you're coming up against a team like Tipperary, the All-Ireland champions, and your players can't but help but hear people saying that they're going to win?
Look, obviously we've huge respect and admiration for Tip. Like, you know, they are the reigning champions, so we've given them the due respect that they deserve. But as I said, when you come into a game of this magnitude, it's just about our own performance, and that's what we've been concentrating on.
And can we expect to see perhaps some high balls or some balls being bombed into that Tip full back line today?
Look, as I said, it's just about how we can work it to our own advantage, so we'll see how it goes.
This monkey in the back of trying to string together 2 All-Irelands, has that been hanging over you?
No, we certainly don't feel it, and we certainly don't talk about it. 2017 is here in its own merits, and we knew exactly what was going to be happening in 2017. It was going to be a great year for hurling, and that's exactly how it transpired. And for everybody outside of Tipperary, they'd have been delighted to have seen the way that the Munster Championship panned out. And to throw open a championship like that is what the game revolves around, and it brings so many other teams into contention. But for us, we're just happy to be here in the last 4, and a chance to go through. The prize is brilliant for anybody, and we're here to compete.
Did you find the passion?
I'd like to think we did. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, the views of the managers. Let's get the view of a former manager of Tipperary, of course. A couple of changes in the Tip team, not too many, but there's a little bit of readjustment from goalkeeper out. What's today's line-out looking like to you? Well,
to be honest with you, I think they're enforced changes. I mean, anyone, Mick would not have been happy with how their last line defence performed down in Cork in that quarter-final. They conceded 3 goals. They probably created six clear-cut goal chances. Had a goal disallowed. So, Darren is back in. Darren Gleeson, he's loads of experience. I think he's a really good distributor of the ball. And I think he'll give confidence out from there forward. James Barry's an all-star full-back. Ultimately, he was playing cornerback and struggled there. Michael Cahill, he's been a great servant. But the question is, in the absolute top level championship, can he still do it? Because Donamara in the other corner was very solid. So that's probably what's going to determine this match, because if Galway get good quality ball in there, they'll be trying to target it inside line. Galway themselves have only scored 2 goals in 3 championship matches, so they don't look to be proven goal getters. It'll be interesting to see do they go for goals today, knowing that there's question marks, because I think if Galway got a goal early, to be a huge lift for them.
Yeah.
At least they broke down that defence.
They will go for goals, because the last 3 games they played, the other teams, Wexford included, played defensive, at least 7 or 8 backs, and that meant that it was crowded up there. They'll be tapping over from outside. Today, I think it'll be 6 against 6. It'll actually suit the goal forwards, and I can see them maybe even Joe going in there to square file, going for goals, because they will feel if they get a goal or 2 early on, it could set them up for the whole game.
Well, that's the question that Joanne was asking there, Henry. Basically, are you guys going to bomb it in? Now, she wasn't getting any secrets, but...
Yeah, and Michael Donoghue doesn't give much away, but I read something during the week, actually, I found very interesting, was that he was asked the question, what did you learn from last year's semi-final? And it's a back away answer normally with most of the manager, but he said, we probably should have looked at some of their individual players more. What I took from that was that there's a couple of key Tipperary players that I think they're going to highlight. Obviously, Seamus Canavan is one of them, and I think Pádraig Maher as well. They are Tipperary's 2 leaders, and I think, the managers have a job to do. The man-to-man markups here are going to be very, very important to how this match pans out. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what Galway do. But the one thing about Galway forwards is that they like to come out the field. Clare, the one thing about Shane O'Donnell and Clare is that when he gets the ball, he's going for the goal, and every defence hates that.
Yeah.
So Galway are more coming out and trying to score points. But I think whoever gets the goals today will probably again win it,
Yeah. I suppose as well as that, like Galway, as Cyril said, short a few goals.
Yeah.
But are banging over a fair number of points.
I know they are. I mean, they're scoring at will, to be honest with you. I mean, they got 29 points in the Leinster final. If they had to get a goal or 2, there'd be no stopping them, So I think the thing is that Carl Mannion and Joe Canning have had interrupted build-ups to this match. It'll be interesting to see how those 2 get on now, because they've only come back training. They're both carrying niggles. So, I think you need to be really on the ball while Tip have been playing matches. So it'll be interesting to see how those 2 cater in the first 15-20 minutes when this match is there for the taking.
All right, lads, the big match is coming up shortly here on RTE Television. Thoughts from the panel on today's game. Liam, people out there are seeing a difference in Galway this year. In fact, a lot of people are saying it's Galway's to lose. What are you seeing in them?
Yeah, well, I think, the one thing you never question with Galway is talent. Galway have always had talent, but there's other aspects of their play sometimes you wouldn't be overly impressed with. But I just seen a difference in them this year. I think, their work ethic in the back. Here's Lee Chin trying to get a ball away, and like they were chasing down, and they really came at that match, I thought, with a different attitude. And likewise, the ball, we all seen the importance of Henry's Kilkenny and the way they were able to win primary possession. But it's not just about winning primary possession. Here's David Burke head up. But watch the run here by Joseph Cooney. He anticipates where the ball might go, and he's made the run. So I just felt their movement overall in that Leinster final was excellent. And again, we go back to the league final where they played obviously today's opposition. Here's Cathal Barrett catching the ball, but straight away, so at both ends of the field, what you're seeing there is Galway hunting down, winning back the ball, putting it over the bar, and I think that's a huge statement to make in any game. And likewise here we take Gerard McInerney. You're not talking about blasting the ball up. Here you are, Joseph Cooney turns and takes on his man, but watch the run off the shoulder. Johnny Cohen, who wouldn't be the prolific midfielder to score, but gets through a huge amount of work and strikes a lovely point. And here I suppose the final moment. We all seen the previous year what Pádraig Maher done with Joe Kenny, but watch Aidan Hart there. You see, I suppose what Micheál Donoghue was looking for here is the defiance in his team. And I think he's seen it that day to say, and I just think there's a bit of a defiance about Galway this year. They've had it in the league, they've had it in the Leinster Championship. Yeah. Question, what will they have today? Because if they bring that defiance, Michael, they're going to be really, really hard to beat.
Sure. Cyril, Liam mentioned Galway's talent that is there, but of course Tipperary, and particularly if they get enough of the ball, they have frightening talent.
Up front, they're very easy on the ball. This fella here, lovely ball here now up to Noel McGrath. Short little wrist, look at this, Michael gives here, a little pass back. Here's McGrath, just takes a step back, doesn't run. He has wrist to burn, but he also has great vision on the ball. And they're lethal when they get moving. Again, lovely little catch here, little hand pass here. He's going to bang. This is Bonner. He's the workhorse himself from McCormick to do all the donkey work. Watch this ball coming down here. This is the ball that should have been cleared. Keeps hassling, keeps hooping. Like gets to hurl here, takes it off. Now look, he'll keep fighting for it. Like he doesn't do anything fancy. A lot of the lads in Tipperary say he doesn't score enough, but he makes. If the forwards were picking the team, Michael, this steady beyond the water. What's again a ball that should be cleared is the ball he shouldn't get at all. But look, what's in his body here. He sacrifices everything, gets thing and hounds down John Conlon the whole time. And like that kind of work, he'll do that all day. Now here's another lovely ball up here. Look at this, Shemi Conlon. Like this guy on song. Brilliant hurler, 3-9 2 years ago. Last year was well held by Dahi Buck, but still did a great hand pass for a score. Like he left and right, he was missing out in the league final. Like look, his hand up, look a little flick across here, over the shoulder. There's John McGrath. They have all these type of forwards, Bubbles the Wire, you know, and McCormick. They have the mix, Michael. They have the two McGraths, Bubbles the Wire, and Shemi Cannon, beautiful wrist hurlers, great vision. And then you have McCormick and Bonner doing the donkey work. And like if the Galway backs can hold them, say, for 65-70%, they'll be doing well, they'll win it. But like again, in the league they did it, but like Bonner and Cannon were missing. It'll be different animals today.
We hear so much, Henry, these days about tactics, about sweepers and 15 men back and blah-de-blah and whatever. I don't think we're going to get that kind of game today.
No, and your VT showed it's pure hurling, and basically it's going to be man on man. So I picked out a few head-to-heads that are probably going to define the game. Like Seamus Cannon and Dahi Burke. Here we are 2 years ago. Seamus Cannon scored 3-9, 3-4 from play, was just on fire. He gave an exhibition full forward, and he's been shown that form again the last little while. Look at this finish here. This is just a real predator, and just bottom corner, excellent. Last year, Galway identified that he was one of the key players. Put Dahi Burke on him from a football background. Tough, tenacious, tight, up behind him, not giving him an inch, and just doing the simple things well. Even the next clip here, he gets caught ball watching a little bit. Seamus Cannon thinks he's in, but look at Dahi Burke. Doesn't foul, keeps the hurls in there. Just brilliant full back play and does the simple things well. I think these two men will probably define the game. Joe Canning and Pádraig Maher. They mightn't be marking each other individually, but they'll have a massive say. They're the leaders. Joe Canning has been playing brilliantly centre forward for me. He's been drifting out, scoring. Ronan Maher was standing off in the league final. That's a big question mark for Michael Ryan. What does he do? And look, I'd watch this all day. This is what Joe Canning can do. Look at that for an arrow of a pass into Jason Flynn. The only pity was he didn't score a goal. But this man has been massive for Tipperary the last couple of years. A real leader. When they needed that catch against Clare, he was the one that stood up. And I suppose I had to show this image. It was probably the final image of last year's semi-final. When you talk about tactics and everything, that's physicality, that's wanting to win. And Pádraig Maher showed that last year. I think those two players, Joe Canning and Pádraig Maher, are what hurling are all about. And I think whichever one of those wins their battle, and at the end of the day, it's about teams and systems and everything, but it's you on man, and whoever wins those battles, I think, will have an outcome on today's game.
Henry, we know where the two lads stand, so I'll go to you. Who's going to win this?
Well, I think the gap of 16 points in the league final is too hard to bridge for Tipperary. I just think Galway are good. And the one thing that's impressed me about Galway this year has been their aerial ability. Liam touched on it, that primary win. And I would not be surprised to see one or two high balls going in. Galway can grab it and get a goal or two. If they get that goal or two and win that prime possession, I think they're going to do it.
All right, Henry, thanks for that. Donald O'Grady, by the way, is down pitch side for us today. And we'll get another neutral view from Donald. You heard, I think, Donald, what Henry Shefflin had to say up here. He thinks Galway might just be able to shade it. Do you share that?
I think if they play as well as they can, Michael, that they might shade it by a point or two. But the talk down here on pitch side is that Tip may make a change, that Dan McCormick will move to midfield and Michael Green into the half-forward line, which will give Tip a lot more scoring power. And of course, the middle third is what it's going to be all about. There's going to be big clashes there. But I think whoever supplies the full forward line, because both sides have fantastic forwards, whoever gets the better ball in there are bound to win this match.
Donald, thanks very much for that. Let's get a quick final word from the two boys. Cyril, if this doesn't work out for Galway today, where is it going to go wrong?
Well, I think if our backs really, like, if they can get on top of the Tip forwards, like, we'll be in trouble if Seamus Kennedy's, if we allow the space to open up, they'll dance. If they get room to dance, Michael, they'll dance well into capable. But like the last, I'd be happy with the defence so far. This is their biggest test, but I think they're good enough to get through.
Liam, Cyril is happy so far this year. Tip fans are not happy so far. Where are you today?
No, they're not happy so far, and I think they're probably, Tipperary today, I think, is hoping that their team gets back to the highs that they got to in 2016, because if they do that, they are a match for anybody, and they'll be a match for this Galway team. Galway have that 5-week layoff. Tip have come in, they have a bit of momentum coming through the qualifiers, but they are going to have to play to a level that they haven't found all year. And as I said, if they can get through that first 15-20 minutes, ask a question of Galway, get 3 or 4 points up, and then we'll see what's in it, because I think this first half is really something we're all looking forward, and we're going to save it the next 35 minutes, that's for sure.
Yeah. We're looking forward to it. Thanks, lads. You can hear, by the way, commentary as Gaeilge on today's match here on RTE television, and you will find details at rte.ie/sport. Here on this channel, in the commentary box, we have Ger Canning and Michael Duignan.
Thank you very much indeed, Michael. For sheer entertainment value, it's hard to beat Tipperary Galway matches over the past few years. We use the phrase only a puck of the ball between them pretty frequently in hurling, but in this case, it really is true. Galway winning by a point in 2015, Tip by 1 last year. And go back to the quarter-final in 2010, the year Tip won the All-Ireland when Liam Sheedy was manager, and it ended Tip 3-16, Galway 3-15. What'll happen today? We'll find out very shortly after the anthem. There are about 60,000 people here in Croke Park this afternoon. The All-Ireland hurling final is 4 weeks away. Will Tipperary still be involved? Can Galway keep their hopes of glory alive? The match has been handled by the referee Barry Kelly from Westmeath, his 3rd year in a row to handle a Galway-Tipperary semi-final. And the match about to get underway. Big group of players in the middle of the field to start with, and it's Galway who make the early advances here through Joseph Cooney, and that ball has gone to the right and it's gone wide.
Yeah, Ger, as expected, Niall Burke gone from full forward out to right half forward, Conor Cooney gone full forward, and Cathal Mannion into top of the left, in on Donna Maher, and you've Conor wheeling over on this side on Michael Cahill. And just looking at Tipperary have a few changes there, so we'll catch up on them in a second.
As Darren Gleeson pucks out for the first time down towards John McGrath, comes across, slips it back as far as Dan McCormack, and McCormack has the first shot on the target, but hits it to the left as well. So a wide piece, not noted as a scorer, Dan, but very much a creator.
Yeah, he's in the middle of the field, probably one weakness in his game. Noel McGrath looks to be at centre half forward, Michael Breen right half forward, and Bonner Maher interestingly out in the left wing. Pádraig Mannion's been very influential for Galway all year, and Bonner is out on him.
That ball batted down there, but it's picked up by Cathal Mannion, immediately taking on Donna Maher. Mannion very near the sideline, reinforcements arriving there. Joe Canning getting a first touch on that towards Joseph Cooney, who hit the first ball wide for Galway. Back there is Seamus Kennedy. Kennedy under ferocious pressure, and the linesman over on the far side, John Keenan from Wicklow, has his flag raised, and it's going to be a line ball straight away. Joe Canning will be the one who will take it. Seamus Kennedy, number 5, UCC student. Think of the action early on. There's been a lot of rain here since about 1:30 this afternoon, so Joe Canning just making sure that the handle of the hurley is dry. We know what he's capable of with these. This is 4th ever All-Ireland semi-final. He's got 23 points in the past from the previous 3. Cuts it in, sharp angle, and he's hit it to the left-hand side, and that's a second wide for Galway.
Yeah, the ongoing debate about those line balls, you know, should you keep them in play? And Joe going out to take most of them from anywhere out to the middle of the field early, and a few of them go over, they look great, but a lot of them go wide.
He's a bit of a risk taker, but when they go over, as you say, they are spectacular. Here's Bonner Maher trying to make some early advances. Down he goes, free into Tipperary, and this should be the opening point of the match. Bonner Maher.
And that's what he does so well. It was highlighted for the game. Look at him in there straight away. Brilliant pick-up, and it was Adrian Toohey who came across and fouled him, and that's what Bonner Maher brings to this Tipperary team.
Little rush of blood to the head there on the part of Adrian Toohey. So it'll be Seamus Calden to calm things down here and to get the first score of the match. Some 35 metres or thereabouts from the target. The wind has been whipping up a little bit. It's behind him at this stage. Straight and true, and the opening score arrives in the 3rd minute. Well, that's a positive start from Seamus Calden's point of view, and Michael Ryan will be happy that his side has got away to a good beginning. John Hanbury, all the way down, beyond Mannion this time, and there was a foul which the referee has spotted, and the player who was fouled over there was Conor Cooney.
Yeah, and Jared, that tactic of Galway all year, the short puck-outs as much as possible, and we saw Cork doing it as well during the year, where they can get the cornerback or fullback and he's pucking the ball over the half-back line right into the full forward line, and you'd imagine Tip will push up and make them puck the ball where it'll be landing on the half-back line, where the two mahers are very strong in the air.
There were so many questions before all of this, Michael, of course, about that Tipperary full back line. Just how solid were they going to be today? You can be certain Galway will test them. Joe has missed a line ball, put it to the left of the post. His first free then, coming up here, chance to level it, and it comes down off the post. It comes down to Cooney, quick turn, and that one's gone over the bar. Conor Cooney the scorer. It's a point apiece.
Yeah, Conor Cooney outstanding. Look at Joe's free here, off the post, and Conor Cooney very quick to react and quick swiveling over the bar. He scored 8 against Wexford, and he's having a fantastic year.
It really is a lethal finisher, Conor Cooney. Change the direction of the puck, out over it goes over there. Cross goes John O'Dwyer, all the way back. And that one's gone over the bar, it's gone flying over there from the wing half back. It is Seamus Kennedy, 2nd game in a row for him to score. Scored in the All-Ireland final back here last September. Took the little pass there from Bubbles O'Dwyer and hit it beautifully over and tipped back in front again. Cathal Mannion looks up, trying to play it into space there towards Johnny Cohen, but cut out well. Beautifully down into the path here of Noel McGrath. Has a look at the target at Hill 16, down there, up into the air it goes, and he drops it over the bar. Good point by Noel McGrath. So a very bright start by Tipperary.
Yeah, and you know, obviously Michael Ryan thought about this. Garrod McInerney, very inexperienced at this level, and Noel McGrath, a brilliant player, great score from him. He saw Bubbles the previous ball, very, very sharp and great vision to pick out Seamus Kennedy, and great start by Tip, looked very sharp. They looked at it in the warm-up, I said it before the game.
Dan McCormack has won this loose ball, back here as far as James Barry. Back out it comes once again. Mickey Cahill then clearing it away down into that inside forward line once more towards Calden. Runs on there. Adrian Tui getting involved once again, has possession. Injured in the semi-final last year, well blocked down this time. It was Bonner Marr who made the block. Pressure on. Porrick Mannion getting it away left-sided into midfield. Out came Conor Cooney to try and collect this one. A lot of Tipperary players there. Cooney won it, gives it out as far as Conor Whelan. Whelan letting it in. Should be the goalkeepers. Does well under ferocious pressure. Managed to stay on his feet and outside the goal area. Really good work that time by Darren Gleeson. Quite a threatening ball that one was from Conor Whelan. And there's an injury to one of the Tipperary players. Good goalkeeping.
Yeah, that's Dan McCormack who's down injured, but high ball, it hung in the air, and a great take there by Darren Gleeson. And you can see the way he kept his arm out, kept the ball outside, made sure he didn't cross the line.
Well, certainly the ball was out and he was under ferocious pressure. Surely he was being fouled there, in fact. Seemed to be pushed in by Cathal Mannion. Good stop anyway. And the player who was injured there has had to be replaced momentarily by Sean Curran, temporary substitution.
Yeah, and Bonner Marr's helmet ended up off as well down there in that incident. See here, Dan McCormack got a slap in the hand there, completely accidental.
That was Conor Cooney picking it up, sending that ball in. So Sean Curran is on, at least momentarily. Free to Tipperary, which is taken by their goalkeeper, appearing in his 20th championship match. All the way down towards the half-forwards this time. Comes back out to Sean Curran, making an early impact, trying to hand-pass it in towards Brendan Maher. Didn't quite succeed in that. One back by Noel McGrath, a back out as far as John O'Dwyer, and Bubbles has a shot on the target, and it's a successful one. A point for John O'Dwyer.
Yeah, look at Noel McGrath again. You're just one little great first touch and little sidestep. Look at the vision to put it out. And lovely feet again by Bubbles. Little swerving over the bar.
Again, Galway not quite getting tight enough on the shooter that time. This time it's down off the hand of Kennedy. Galway have it back. Conor Whelan looks up. It drops in. It took a long while to find the range, but it's got over the bar. It's a point for Galway, scored by Conor Whelan. Their 20-year-old, high up into the air from outside the 45-metre line. Seems to take an eternity before it dropped over to make it 4 points to 2.
Yeah, I certainly think the wind is favouring Tipperary. You could see that ball hanging in the air for a long time.
Well, Tip trying to use the elements then for the opening 35 minutes, trying to apply the pressure once again. Noel McGrath collects it, supported here well. Well, that wasn't the best of shots. Brendan Maher getting forward here. He got the last point of the match in the quarter-final against Clare from a free. 7th semi-final for him. Another one for Michael Ryan. Big day, semi-final of the All-Ireland. 4 weeks away from Hurling's biggest day in September. Donamar under pressure, under real pressure, because Cooney's collected it beautifully. Back it comes. Johnny Cohen looking and driving and scoring. Good reply.
Yeah, super catch here, Conor Cooney. And again, division, and I think that's on display from both sides so far. They're looking up, they're picking out the loose man, but that's a fantastic catch.
Early worries there for Donamar, 28 years of age. Not that terribly experienced playing at this level. Back again, that one by John Hanbury, out over the sideline. So an interesting opening to this match, 4 points to 3. Tipperary leading at this early stage. Michael Breen has moved into the half-forward line from the beginning of this match. New number for Bonner Maher. He's now number 27. Or rather, it's Dan McCormack who's changed his shirt and is now the number 27. Line ball. This one to Galway. It'll be Aidan Hart from Gort who'll come up and take it. Now the changes are made. This is Dan McCormack coming on. So back off goes Sean Curran, and play can resume. Aidan Hart not making the best of connections that time. In came David Burke, trying to win it there, the Galway captain. Bending to take that was Michael Breen. Little hand pass backwards, but straight to a Galway man, to Aidan Hart. Then in came that hefty challenge. Pressure on Adrian Toohey here. Needs a support player, John Hanbury back there, facing his own end line under pressure from Michael Breen. Gets that ball away. Down there towards Joseph Cooney. Then there's a challenge by Joe Canning. One back once again by Tipperary. Demar misplacing the hand pass. Another misplaced hand pass. A couple of errors there. A lot of intensity. Paddy Marr trying to hold on to it for dear life. This time he was fouled, and the referee gives the free to Tipperary on their own 45-metre line.
Yeah, the game a little bit subdued so far, Jerry. I have to say, both teams a bit nervous, and dangerous ball in here now.
That was a very, very dangerous looking ball, but Pádraig Mannion has read the flight path expertly because he was aware of the presence of John McGrath just behind him, and in the end McGrath fouls him, pulls him back, and it's going to be yet another free, this time to Galway, and the referee and linesman just saying bring it back a wee bit. Change of helmet, by the way, as well for Patrick Bonner Maher, in case you were watching him. He's gone from white to blue, wearing number 11 still. It's Galway's quarter forward Conor Whelan who gets that ball back to a support player, Niall Burke. Tried to make more of an impact in the early minutes of this game. Again, the referee's whistle sounds.
Yeah, free against Michael Catt. Watch the high tackle coming in here. A lot of that creeping into Hurling. I think it's because the lads have the face guard on. They're going in that bit higher, and certainly a foul there on the Galway man.
Michael Cahill has been out injured for quite a while, hasn't been quite sure of that left corner back position, which was his for so many years. but he's got vital experience, and they need more and more of that experience in that full back line, which was sorely tested down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh just a fortnight ago. Free for Joe Canning to take. This to level up the match, 35 metres out from goal. Oh, that one has been misjudged by Joe. Doesn't happen all that terribly often.
That's two handy enough frees now, Jerry. Hit the post with one, hit that one wide, missed the line ball, and that's a shaky start. You know, Joe has been carrying a bit of an injury, and he could have done without that start.
Once again, Darren Gleeson with the restart. Down to the half forwards towards Noel McGrath once again to try and win this one. Dan McCormack in there as well. Finally kicked out. Further away, up towards Conor Cooney. Cooney raiding, and across came Mickey Cahill. Vital intervention that time. Read the dangerous signal immediately. Cahill Mannion plays it back towards Whelan. Trying to make an angle for himself. Back in towards Cooney again, and Conor Cooney hits this one with ease and puts it over the bar. He's got a second point. And the teams are level at 4 points apiece in the 14th minute. Level for the second time in this game.
Yeah, I think Conor Cooney took the easy option there. Great play there by Mickey Cahill, as you mentioned. He got back there, as you say, showed the experience. But I think Conor Cooney had a chance there maybe to head for the goals. There was an overlap there, and Joseph Cooney was inside.
Gleeson tucking out. Down towards John McGrath, inside towards Bonner Maher as well. Well won by John Hanbury, gets away with it, hand passes it out. Out as far as Niall Burke. Very deep, all the way up. Collected here by Cahill Mannion, who's moved into the inside forward line, swings, spins and puts it over. Galway lead, 5 points to 4. Mannion the scorer.
Yeah, that full forward line doing a lot of damage so far. That's 2 points by Conor Cooney, one each by Whelan and Mannion. Mannion's wearing 10, but he's in the left corner, and that fast ball in there. We saw Tipperary in trouble against Clare in the full back line, and they're certainly in trouble early on here against Galway.
It's becoming more and more of a test for the full back line, as you say. Inside here towards Seamus Calnan. What a block by Daithí Burke, but he got it back, Calnan. Brilliant point. That is a superb piece of hurling by both men. Calnan's second point, but the block by Daithí Burke. Watch this, super. And then the presence of mind by Calnan to pick it up again and calmly stroke it over the bar and tie it up at 5 points once more. Brilliant.
Yeah, two class acts, and Henry Shefflin pinpointed that battle. I think that's the crucial one of today. Whoever wins that go a long way towards the side of the game.
Conor Whelan comes across here. There's a Galway player on the ground. It's Joe Canning. Picking himself up rather gingerly. His nephew Jack was superb in the minor match before this. That was won by Galway by a point. And right now, Joe has a chance of getting his own point. Hasn't scored so far. It's come close. Missed a free, struck a line ball off the upright. Well, this is 65 metres out, really, the angle of difficulty for him. And third time of asking, he makes sure of it. Pointed free by Joe Canning. And it's 6 points to 5.
Yeah, it was a big one for him, Ger, and the hardest one he had so far, but that'll settle him now.
Well, after 16 minutes, you would imagine this game should now settle down, and any nerves that were there beforehand should be pretty much out of the equation. That's David Burke. That's a great ball to Cooney. Couldn't quite take it down, however. The goalkeeper, helped out by his fullback, managed to get that ball away. Out as far as Páidí Maher. And the Tipperary captain this year swings it all the way down towards John McGrath. Held off by the defenders there. Daithí Burke then completes the clearance up here towards the full forward, who is Niall Burke. Back out towards Garrod McInerney, man of the match in many people's estimation in the league final between these same two teams in Limerick back in April. This is Aidan Hart. Not getting ball in once again inside there towards Conor Cooney, racing across for possession. Taking his man out of position, that is James Barry beautifully into Whelan, and Whelan sticks it over the bar. A second for the Kinvara player.
That's the best score of the game. Brilliant play out the field, first of all, interplay, and look at that for a pick-up by Conor Whelan. Great ball by Conor Cooney, great movement inside in the full forward line again, and we've said it already, the pace of that full forward line really troubling Tipperary.
Galway by 2. Micheál Donoghue will be reasonably happy. A year of achievement so far for him and for Galway. A lot of pressure on the full back line once again down at the other end of the field. And this time Garrod McInerney sliding into that one, but it's going to be a little bit more pressure on his back line. Line ball to Tipperary. 7 points to 5. Will be concerned. This is going to be Brendan Maher's cut. Not the best by any means. Straight to David Burke. David Burke. That's nicely forward here. An opportunity for Conor Cooney to come out for it, and the ball's gone out over the sideline. At this stage, let's bring in Donal O'Grady. Donal, your early reaction.
Well, Ger, I think Galway targeted Dunamara there with Cathal Mannion, but now Mickey Cahill has swapped across, and Galway are just leaving one player inside. That's Conor Cooney, and Conor Whelan and Mannion are drifting out the field.
It's a real tactical battle, as you'd expect. Joe Canning's going to hit this sideline ball. Well, the last one he struck off the upright. This time he goes short. Back here to Cathal Mannion. Again, to try and play the ball in, but there's an extra defender back there. It's Mickey Cahill, and Cahill swings it away towards top of the right. Beautifully gathered in by John McGrath. The ever-dangerous McGrath off his left-hand side, and he's put it wide. That's a bad miss.
It was a bad miss, but it was a beautiful reading of the ball by John McGrath. You know, Adrian Tuohy went ahead, but McGrath's timing was brilliant there. And unlike him there, he stepped inside, but good pressure from the Galway backs and forced the wide.
Well, he's a very good scoring record, John McGrath. Usually goes in for goal anywhere near the 20-metre line. He's got 9 goals in his championship career so far. That's a great take this time by Joseph Cooney. Hasn't been as involved as he was in the opening 30 seconds. Back out this time to Johnny Cohen, and Cohen looking for a second, but he's put it wide instead. And it's already a 4th wide by Galway. Cohen, the 26-year-old from Loughrea, has formed quite a good partnership in midfield with David Burke. Not alone are they midfield hurling partners, but they're work colleagues as well in St. Bridget's School in Loughrea. That's out by Mickey Cahill, but straight there to David Burke. Back in towards Conor Cooney once more. This time gathered in here by James Barry. You'll be glad to get that one, to build his confidence a little bit. Ball out of defence by Donagh Maher. Taken away smartly here by Brendan Maher. Has a support player on his side. In there it goes towards Ronan Maher, then runs into traffic. Ball won back once again by David Burke of Galway, all the way up towards Conor Cooney. Cooney comes out for it. And the referee has blown his whistle, decides that Cooney was bundled out of the way unfairly, and it's going to be a free in, and it's a chance for Galway to put 3 points between the teams.
Yeah, Conor Whelan just got his body in there, forced the foul, and you mentioned that midfield, Dahi Burke or David Burke. See Conor Whelan there getting fouled there out in front of James Barry, but David Burke and Johnny Cohen well on top in the middle of the field. And we've talked about the Tipperary full backline being in trouble this year. The midfield, Michael Breen and Brendan Maher not operating at the same level as usual. And I see Dan McCormick out there today, doesn't really look that natural, and Johnny Cohen getting on a lot of ball.
Joe Canning ready to point his second pointed free of the match. And that's 2 out of 3 from him so far from place balls. No difficulty whatsoever. Galway fans who have waited some 29 years for that McCarthy Cup to go back over the Shannon to Galway. But there are other counties around this country who are waiting even longer. That's touched out. I guess John McGrath who got it last. It's got to be a Galway sideline ball.
Yeah, and Tip had a great start. They got 3 early points, but since then struggling to get their hands on the ball from the puck-out. That's been an old failing of Tipperary, you know, on puck-outs when they're going bad. We saw it against Cork this year as well. Got it very hard to win primary possession.
Aidan Hart, that's straight towards Brendan Maher. Attacked it well. Back it comes once again into the middle. Ronan Maher this time, down towards Calden, runs on. Bubbles O'Dwyer trying to make some inroads there. Goalkeeper Colin Calden comes out, collects. Away towards Niall Burke, can't get to it. One back instead by Paddy Maher, and Maher looks over his left shoulder, and this one goes sailing over the bar. It's one they've needed. They've got 7 minutes without a score, and now it's back to a 2-point game.
Yeah, I don't think a very good clearance there from Colin Callan. You know, 50-50 ball. The Pádraig Maher was always going to win, and you know, just broke the ball and tapped it over the bar. Good score by Pádraig, and that Tipperary badly needed that.
Well, as captain of this team, Paddy Maher will certainly want to get through this and get to the All-Ireland final. He'll want to be here in September to try and retain the title they won in sparkling fashion last year. They've got this one. out of defence here. Mickey Cahill playing it out. Cleared away in the end. Down towards Calden once more. Collects, but he's gone out to the 45-metre line to get it now. Oh, he's mishit it completely, but it might yet work out. Comes back towards Tui, under pressure, real pressure. Oh, it's a goal for Tipperary. And the goal king has done it again. John McGrath, his 10th ever. And it comes after 23 minutes. A real mix-up by Galway.
Yeah, we see it so often in hurling. Shane Callan wanted to normally tap over the bar and mishit it. Colin Callan came out. We just watched John McGrath, just a little flick away here, got a little touch over the head, and he doesn't miss from there. He loves goals, he lives for them.
Well, I doubt very much if Seamus Calden was intending that as a pass, but it ended up being an intriguing ball in there which wasn't properly dealt with. The reply by Johnny Cohen has gone sailing over the bar. That's one back.
Yeah, good response by Galway. Tipperary man on the ground, I think, after that last puck out. Johnny Cohen, a great start. That's his second point from play.
And it ends up with the teams being level for the 4th time. It really is turning into a very, very intriguing semi-final, as we thought it might indeed be. James Barry injured. I think better suited to a central defensive role, which is why he's been brought in from corner back by the management team there. But this is that goal again. Galway at sea, and John McGrath pounces. He's so decisive.
He has a lovely piece of skill there, the little flick to flick it over the head, but it should have been dealt with by Colin Callan. He'll be very, very disappointed.
Well, that's one he will be very, very pleased with indeed. A most dangerous foe for any defender or group of defenders. Thankfully, James Barry's okay. The man from Upperchurch, Stromban, playing today in his 20th championship match. And Micheál Donoghue just wondering, how did they give that goal away? He'll be glad they got one. Puck out for Tipperary. Darren Gleeson to take it. Pressure again on the half-back line. David Burke was back there helping. It spins up into the air. Hanbury's under it. Tries to get the ball out here as far as Daithí Burke. Minimum of space available to him. Had to kick it out only as far as Dan McCormack, wearing number 27, back in here again, and that ball has come back off the post there and out as far as David Burke, and a let-off for Galway, and a chance to drive it now, 70 metres, 80 metres downfield. Niall Burke, wearing 14, has got in towards full forward again, but it breaks off his hand to James Barry. Back down into the centre of the park once more. In there goes Pádraig Mannion to challenge for it. The number 5 for Galway in the thick of the action. Comes out to Joseph Cooney instead. Racing away there. Trying to get away from Brendan Maher. One back, however. Slipped forward once more by Bonner Marr. Pressure on with Calden there. And Calden off the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper managed to get down, got some part of his anatomy to it, and kept it out.
Yeah, I think you'll see that again. That's a great save by Colin Callan. He certainly redeemed himself there. Daithí Burke slipped, and Seamus Callan, you watch it here, Daithí Burke goes down, Callan holds his feet, gets in, and Colin Callan down very smartly to save what looked like a certain goal.
And Callan involved once again. Well, a resourceful goalkeeper there in Colin Callan, now 35 years of age, stopping this goal attempt by Callan. And
yeah, that threat is inside there all the time with Tip, and Galway bringing men out to field. That full forward line started very well. Now they've 3 back in there again.
All the way back in it goes once more. Connemara under pressure from Conor Whelan. And Whelan, who's so sharp, has already got 3. In the league final, he got 5. He was absolutely sensational that afternoon in Limerick when Galway won by 16 points.
Yeah, well, he's so strong. He's such a low centre of gravity, very, very quick, and a great finisher. But when Galway leave 3 in there, they look dangerous. Sometimes they're withdrawing a man, as I said, and they're leaving 3 against 2, which is not suiting them.
That sails in over the head of Pádraig Mannion and eventually goes out over this near sideline. The linesman here, Sean Clear from Kilkenny, with the flag raised. John O'Dwyer leaving it, and it'll be Brendan Maher from Borrisoleigh who will take it. Galway by a point. 8 minutes to go to half-time. Taking it back there from O'Dwyer, it's Brendan Maher, and he might have left it to more acknowledged shooter. Missed completely. It's 4th wide by Tipperary.
Yeah, John O'Dwyer is so quick. You know, that was obvious to me he was going to do that. Brilliant quick hands by him, and Brendan Maher will be very disappointed. Very soft wide. See Bonner Maher back in at centre forward. I think he'll be happier there. Michael Breen has come over this wing and Noel McGrath the right wing.
High ball in there towards Niall Burke. Breaks down. James Barry spooning it back there towards Gleeson. And Darren Gleeson up into the air. Pressure on Porrick Mannion. Michael Breen there challenging for it as well. John O'Dwyer trying to get to it. Comes back out, however, out towards David Burke. Under ferocious pressure from Patrick Bonner-Marr, and Bonner did well. And Porrick Marr challenged strongly, very strongly, and withstood the challenge as well. Referee's whistle sounds, having a word with Joe Canning for that. You may remember the shoulder-to-shoulder last year.
Well, certainly that was in Joe's. That was in his mind there. He was trying to lay down a marker, but high tackle is going to be a yellow card for Joe.
So first yellow card of the match for Joe Canning. Score of 2 points from frees, and it'll be a free to Tipperary now for Seamus Callan to take from the middle of the park. This to try and level up the game. He's already got 2, 1 from a free, 1 from open play. Taking his time over it. Nicely directed, or is it? No, it's gone to the right. A player who played in his first ever All-Ireland semi-final back in 2008 against Waterford. Tuck out by Colm Calden. Pressure on Seamus Kennedy over there. Ball comes back out once again. Out here as far as Conor Cooney. Dan McCormack picks it up. Makes a yard of space for himself. Then down into the corner towards John McGrath. 2 Galway players are on him. One of them is Aidan Hart. Scampers across, wins it. Slips the hand pass out here beautifully to Porrick Mannion. Goes off, tries to locate Hart again. Fails to do that, but goes once more. Slips it out instead. Out here towards Conor Cooney. And the St. Thomas's player drives it away wide of the target. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, there's a lot of mistakes. That's an easy chance. We saw Brendan Maher with an easier one. We see Seamus Callan missing a free. Joe missed a couple of frees. There are a lot of uncharacteristic errors from players of their standard.
Not to mull over for the fans and for the managers and the management teams. Ball back in play again. Noel McGrath hitting it off his stick, goes in after it to try and get it. Eventually Aidan Hart gets a swing on that. Second attempt, goes after it once more. Back goes Noel McGrath. Finally contained here by Brendan Maher. Challenging Johnny Cohen, taking him on. Cohen goes in after him, puts the hurley in over his shoulder, takes him down, and that's going to be a free in. Good work by Brendan Maher, showing that determination, that desire to be a winner here in this All-Ireland semi-final. Chance once again then for Seamus Callan to come out and take the next free. It's his 8th ever semi-final. 2 points today means he's got 6 goals and 30 points in semi-final action. Once again, the opportunity here to tie up the scores with 4 minutes to go to half-time. A game which has had its highs and lows so far, and this time a white flag for Calman, 3rd for him, and the sides are level for the 5th time. Managers considering maybe possible switches, or they just might get an advantage. Trying to retain the All-Ireland, as we know, for Tipperary and for every other team in hurling, such a difficult thing to do, maybe apart from Kilkenny. A ball cut out well, cut out by James Barry, settling down to play well. Deserves a lot of credit. Noel McGrath driving it back down towards the 13-metre line. Galway needing to try and clear their lines, not doing so successfully, and it's John McGrath raiding once again. Daithí Burke followed him, got the stick in. Hanbury has it, tries to go through the eye of a needle and take on 2 of the Tipperary forwards. It's Hanbury getting away, out of danger. Breen couldn't hook him, and the Galway crowd loved that by John Hanbury. Up it goes. Tip win the free.
Yeah, Ronan Maher doing a very close marking job on Joe Canning. He can't get away from him. We saw in the league final where Joe Canning drifted all over the field, but Ronan Maher sticking to him today. man-to-man job.
There was always this worry, of course, Michael, that if Joe went wandering, would Ronan Maher have to follow him? Would that leave a big gap in the middle of the defence? It's Brendan Maher who's going to take this. There has managed a point in each of his last 2 championship matches. Up into the air, travelling nicely, and over the bar. 3 points in 3 matches.
Yeah, great strike there by Brendan Maher. We saw the same against Clare the last day. That's a long, long way out, and just guided it in with the wind.
It's Tipperary by a point. The lead has seesawed here somewhat. Good start by Tipperary, then great encouraging spell of maybe 20 minutes by Galway, and now Tipperary have come back once more. Niall Burke trying to make some inroads, pressurised, ferocious pressure, and Ronan Maher has won it back for Tipperary. Not the greatest of hand passes, straight to Michael Breen, a bit of a hospital pass that one. In the end it is going to be Galway possession, but Michael Ryan certainly felt that Michael Breen was very, very harshly dealt with here, that it wasn't a fair shoulder to shoulder.
No, I think it was. Joe Canning. Joe's on yellow, so I just want to be careful this time on them, but Michael Breen is gone there. I think that's his last play, been taken off.
Michael Breen is gone, and the substitute to come on is Jason Ford. Ford coming on for his 18th championship appearance for Tipperary.
I think Joe will fancy this one.
You're right, he does fancy it. He really fancies it. So do the crowd. Third for Joe.
That's what we talked about, Joe, that bit of class. That's a beautiful skill, and just swerved it in over the bar there. Great time.
Remember all those points in the Leinster final against Wexford. James Barry from that short puck out, down towards Calden once again. McGrath's there as well. Work to do for the defenders to try and get this ball away, in particular to Adrian Toohey, to link up here with Porrick Mannion. Coming out there and caught by Seamus Calden, fouled, no question. Referee saw the arm and stick in over the shoulder of the Haskra player. And it's going to be a free out for Galway. That'll relieve a little bit of the pressure on them. Teams level. 6 times they've been level in this match. Dan McCormack in there, busy, industrious as ever. Different side to his game today, and he plays so deep. We've normally seen him in and around the half-forward line. Ronan Maher swinging it down towards Calden once again. This time he holds off the fullback. Calden has enough space, but well blocked down initially by Cohen. Gets it back once again, and Calden, second time of asking, second time he's done that in this match, has got another score. A 4th point for Seamus Calden. That's terrific full-forward play.
Yeah, great composure, great block down first of all, but he just look at the skill level to get away there again and put it over the bar. And earlier on I mentioned Galway midfield well on top. I think Brendan Maher and Dan McCormack have come into the match over the last 10 minutes and made a massive difference to Tip. They're driving them forward.
It's Tipperary by 1, heading in towards the closing stages of this first half. As you can see, 2 minutes of additional time now being played. So after this pile-up of bodies, it's eventually Joe Canning who takes it out here, gets enough room to swing his stick, but with no degree of accuracy, and he looked away in disgust immediately. Another one has gone astray for Galway.
There was no support play there. Every one of the Galway forwards came into the one cluster there. There must have been 6 or 7 players, including the midfielders, and when Joe Canning won it, there was no one outside him to lay it after. Darren
Gleeson down in over the head of Porrick Mannion this time. Coming onto it, that's Jason Ford. He's only just in, and he's already scored. Good point by Jason Ford, the Silvermines player. 23 years of age, wanted to make an impact. Has never been sure of being able to get into that starting 15, but he's in now and he's making a considerable contribution. Once again Galway and Niall Burke, and the referee blows his whistle.
Yeah, no great argument. I think the percentage was being held. Hard to see a lot there now.
And Seamus Kennedy was puzzled as well, Michael.
Yeah, looks soft.
Joe Canning set to take this. 3 points so far. It's 13-11 in points. No longer. He's got a 4th. And the referee blows his whistle at half-time. It's a game which has swung this way and that. It's really intriguing. Yes, there have been errors, but there have been some great scores as well. Calvin has got 4 points, and he's made a marked contribution. And as the sides retire here at half-time, we'll be looking forward to getting the views of our panel, what they've made of the opening 35 minutes. But the issue, who's going to make it to the final, very much hanging in the balance. It's advantage Tipperary at this stage. At half-time, Galway 12 points, Tipperary 1 goal and 10. We're back after this.
Dave, you're leading by a point. Happy?
Yeah, I think Tip will be happy. You know, myself and Henry actually commented when we seen Tip racing out with the tunnel before the match. They just looked like a team possessed. And in fairness, they got a great start. You know, they were 4 points to 1 up after 7 minutes. But then, in fairness to Galway, they came roaring back into the game. The next 15 minutes, it was 7 points to 1. So Galway looked to have really found the edge. I thought they were finding their scores really easy. I thought their movement across the inside forward line, they had Tips at 6s and 7s. And I felt Tips' inside backline weren't being protected because the half backline was being sucked out. But to be fair, in the last 15 minutes, Tip have really got the grips with it. Obviously, the goal was a huge score. They find themselves a point up. And again, you know, the longer they're in the game, you know, that question mark that, you know, if they can get this down to the wire, I think Tip at the moment will be very happy going down the tunnel at half time.
They will, and I suppose the thing about all this, Sir Farrell, is after 35 minutes, we're no clearer on any answers that we were looking for at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, well, as Liam said there, Chip will be the happier team, but Galway won't be too unhappy. Of course, they prefer to be in front. They took a few chances. The intensity of Tip early on, I'd say, rocked them back. It was bound to happen, I suppose, really, but they clawed their way back in. Then Tip got that goal, give them a breather. But to be fair, Johnny Cohen popped up as another point, got 2 from midfield, and came back straight away. Now, Tip are getting their scores a little bit easier at times, imagine. As Liam was saying, our full forward line inside Galway's full forward line was creating great space, but now all of a sudden, Pádraig Maher, Ronan Maher and Kindy are starting to get on top of the half-back line. We need a bit more from Niall Burke wing forward and Joe Cooney. Joe Cannon's out as well, OK in the freeze line ball, but they're just not winning enough duels yet. I think in the first half, maybe Tip, a slight little breeze. It's going judging by the minor match we've got this time. And if you notice, Michael, there was no sharp workouts. There was no chance to get caught. Everything was you fight for your own ball. It's like, my sense is like, you win your own ball or lose your own ball. It hasn't fully opened up, but like it's I suppose there's a terrible lot at stake. And the goal is still there. OK, it's only a point. I feel if Galway could get a goal or two to win it, they need a goal or two to really kind of get up to the heights we expect of them.
Hasn't fully opened up, but it's still great crack. Henry Shefton, there was so much talk going into this match, or indeed this season, about Tip's full backline, about their defence a bit shaky. But in fact, when the goal came in that first half, it was the Galway defence that was looking a bit wobbly.
Yeah, and that was just a synopsis of the game. I think it's been a kind of tense and nervous, as Cyril has said. And this is, again, Seamus wins a great ball. And you'd say any other day Seamus is going to put this ball over the bar. He hits the ball. Colm comes out and knocks it out. Adrian Toohey looks to have this, slows down for a second. And as we see in the replay here, John McGrath, just brilliant wrists. And what he does do, he breaks onto it. And they said Seamus should have put the ball over the bar. But it's just, I think it shows the game. There's a little bit of tension there. Adrian Toohey wouldn't be used to it, but you see John McGrath, and what he does here for any young player watching, he hits the ball. Look at the wrist just to flick it over.
Lovely.
But he hits the ball against himself. All the players are running one way. He hits the ball the other way into the back of the net. And that was the defining score. And that is, like, the one thing Cyril has said, Galway's full backline haven't been really tested because they've been playing these defensive systems. So that was where Adrian Toohey thought he probably had time in other games. This is the All-Ireland semi-final. You don't get time. And Galway, to be fair, haven't tested it. They've got some great scores. Conor Cooney and Conor Whelan got great scores. But Darren Gleeson hasn't been tested once. And that is a concern for Galway, you know.
All right, that's second half of Galway and Tipperary coming up soon. And also another chance for you to enter our big Sunday game competition. Tipperary are leading Galway by 1 goal and 10 points to 12 points. We looked, lads, at the Tip goal there before the break, but in actual fact, Tip had a second goal chance as well.
Yeah, Galway were very lucky here, Michael. A lovely ball comes in here, floating in, not too strong, just let it in front of the forward line. Dahi Burke gets back and watch here. Seamus Cannon hops out over, and the ball actually pops up when he does the right thing, a little flick of the wrist. But to be fair to Colm Cannon, came off the line very fast. if that went in, like, to be very hard on goal, because like they were playing well. You can watch it here again. Shamie Cannon does the right thing, so does Colm Cannon. Come off fast and Galway clear the lines. It's the first time, Michael, I suppose, this year that there's actually been 6 fours on 6 against the Galway backs, and you'd have to say the full back then are dicey enough. You know, they're under pressure in there. Hops up a little bit off the ground. Lovely flick by Shamie, but Colm Cannon had advanced. Cut down his ankle. Once he cut down the ankle, like, it was a great save, because he got caught unlucky enough with Adrian. We caught it into him making a slight mistake. Got caught for that. Every goal he hates to get beaten, but he redeemed himself there.
Liam, you want to have a look at another aspect of that?
Well, I think in the first half, when Galway were at their best, I thought their movement inside was very, very good. You know, this guy, Conor Whelan, you know, I mean, he's making scores, he's winning ball, and they were able to create space, and it was because they weren't really. They had bodies in there, but there was great movement from the bodies in there, and like they were drawing the Tipperary players and the Tipperary backs all over the place. Here you can see the movement left and right. And it's down to Conor Cooney. He's running into space. You know, it's a dream from his point of view. He's 2 options then. James Barry's trying to step off him because he said maybe he's going to come and take me on. And he's able to flash the ball across. And once again, here we have Conor Whelan. The last time he was provider, this time he took his own score. As I said, he's got 3 great points. But to be fair to the Tipperary backs, I think they've started to sit back deeper. They're half back than have got on top. They've got 2 points. And it's really allowed them to build a platform that has really, I suppose, somewhat on top in the last 15 minutes. So this is a massive 10 or 15 minutes now for Galway.
It sure is. Henry, before the match, you gave a cautious nod to Galway in this one.
And what I said, Michael, was that we will not know until 15, 20 minutes to go when the pressure come on. And there was only one major pressure point in that first half. Galway were going very well. The goal happens. Now, Johnny Cohen got a great score after that. But it definitely has knocked a bit of confidence out of Galway. They were starting to come. Now, different for Galway this year is that they've had a 5-week break. You know, they haven't had a match in the last 5 weeks. Tip have been playing games up along. What normally happens is you're a little bit rusty. It takes a bit of while to get going. So it will be interesting to see if they come out and they explode. They're back out very early now in the second half. They're outside there about 2 minutes. Here, Tip coming now. But I still think this is Galway's time. I still think they have the potential to really up it. But Tip are going to give them everything, so it's going to be very interesting to see how it pans out.
It surely is. All right, let's go back through the commentary box to Ger Canning and Michael Duignan.
Thank you indeed, Michael. No changes that I can see so far. A match which has been watched all over the world today, and watching it in Panama is Maggie Bradshaw, a Tip fan, and John Connell watching it in Galway, who's 90 today, wishing you both the very best. Second half gets underway. And a bit of a pile-up. And finally, as a result of all of that, that ball spins around before Joseph Cooney once again collects, just as he did at the very beginning of the match. Then he drove it wide. This time he drives it over the bar. Teams level immediately. Joseph Cooney his first.
Great score there by Joseph Cooney. Very direct running. Managed to get the strike in and just curled it back in there. Lovely score by Joseph Cooney. Had a very good first half without scoring.
Well, I think that point that was made there by Henry is a good one, that Galway have been without a match for some 5 weeks, so the rustiness should be out of their veins at this stage, and they should be ready to really turn it on in the second half if they're able to do so. Light breeze behind them as Aidan Hart completes the clearance way downfield. Beautifully collected here. What a catch by Conor Cooney, advancing. He got a goal here last year. He's missed this one, but not by much, but he did miss.
Yeah, could have a massive bear. What a catch again by Conor Cooney. Came down the middle. I think he thought about passing it, and then brilliant shot, but out and wide. Just beautiful ball by Aidan Hart in front of him. That's it's a poor miss. Nothing came out of it.
Team still level then. Early stages of the second half. Going to try and bat that down was Pádraig Mannion, helped out here by his brother Cathal. Cathal is the younger of the two brothers in this Galway team. This time it's Mickey Cahill who comes across, almost at his ease initially, and then challenged by Niall Burke, who stayed in that inside forward line. He's getting caught in possession there, Mickey Cahill. They need to get it out. Joe Canning trying to apply pressure, helped out there by Cooney. Waiting for that ball to come out is Johnny Cohen. Finally it comes out towards Aidan Hart. Hart, 45 metres out from the Tipperary goal, but collecting it is Pádraig Maher. Maher right-handed away downfield, all the way down towards John McGrath. Two defenders there to try and take that one in, and one of them is Dáithí Burke. Back to the middle of the park it comes. Fouled or dropped there by David Burke. Back to take it here is Gearóid McInerney. Hand pass back towards Burke once again, but Trying to nip in and take that ball away was Brendan Maher, who looks very, very sharp. Maher battling, working hard. 3 men against him. Runs out towards Seamus Callan, trying to make some inroads. That's almost impossible. A whole phalanx of Galway players there. In the end, the referee has blown his whistle, and it's going to be a free in for Tipperary.
Yeah, very hard passage to play. I didn't see a whole lot. I think Seamus Callan just lost his feet there, and Galway players a bit perplexed. He looks to be a bit injured as well. He's down injured.
They look a bit perplexed, the Galway defenders, Michael. I think
well,
they're saying they were being disciplined.
No, to be fair, I think you did see Joseph Cooney's arm was in across and pulled him down.
It results in a free in anyway, and the referee just waiting until the running repairs have been completed there.
Yeah, and you're seeing there, probably what's part of the modern game, maybe that people don't realise, the hard hitting and tackling. Like you saw there, Michael Cahill coming out, Joe Canning stood him up with a fierce tackle, and right down along that sideline. The ferocity and the strength of these players now is just incredible.
Kieran Kingston there we saw in the crowd a moment ago, the Cork manager. They'll be here, of course, next Sunday afternoon against Waterford, the second of the All-Ireland semi-finals, again live on RTE, not to be missed. Michael Ryan just wondering about Seamus Callan, because you remember he was an injury worry as well at the end of the quarter-final against Clare down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh a couple of weeks ago, but happily recovered from that.
Just if I could give a quick mention there, Road, a great GA club in Offaly, lost their president buried this morning, Christy Darby, the father of Stephen and Seamus Darby. You'll all know Seamus scored a winning goal in '82. Christy, buried 97 years of age, buried this morning in Road, so may rest in peace.
Indeed. Callan to take this. 25 metres out from the target, should be pretty straightforward from his point of view, with Tipperary 110 to 13 points. This to give Tip the lead. It'll be his 5th of the match. Takes a lot of time over it, but it's well worth doing so. Another for him, another for Tip. It's going to be a tough, tense second half, you feel. No pyrotechnics just yet here at Croke Park. All the way down towards Niall Burke. Burke's off towards Joseph Cooney. Again making advances. He can score here. Batted out by the goalkeeper, Darren Gleeson. Again, the referee has blown his whistle and he's bringing back the play. And it's got to be a free in. That was a great run by Joseph Cooney, but didn't go rewarded at the end.
Yeah, but he's really improved that part of his game this year. He's ref gave him a free there again. He's saying that Ronan Maher came across. Good, well done there by Darren Gleeson, blocked it away, but the referee saw a slap there when he went across Ronan Maher and called it back for the free.
It's a very tall Galway forward line. I mean, Joseph Cooney is, I think he's 6'4".
They're a huge team.
They really are. Joe Canning's going to hit this. It'll be his first of the second half. He got 4 in the first half, 4 points, 3 frees, 1 sideline, and over it goes. No problems then for the 2 free takers, Joe Canning or Seamus Callan. And so level once again, level for the 8th time. Real cat and mouse. Short puck out to the wings to Paddy Maher. Hand pass forward here towards his brother Ronan, now 21 years of age. Into that inside forward line towards Calden, out via Daithí Burke, further away. Garrod McInerney hand passing it into the middle to Johnny Cohen, getting away there from Dan McCormack. Cohen outside, but it's intercepted by Seamus Kennedy. The raiding St Mary's player loses it. He loses it to Joseph Cooney. Cooney back in there towards Conor Whelan. 1 against 3, and Whelan managed to get it. He's got 3 so far. He's got another one. He's on fire in this match. Galway 15 points, Tipperary 111.
And he had no right to score that. You know, there was defenders everywhere, but he gets that ball under control so quickly. Joseph Cooney again doing great work out the field. He played the ball in front of him, and that's Conor Whelan has had 4 points from play. Great return by Conor.
Darren Gleeson down there towards John McGrath, bounces out, however, comes away here to Aidan Hart, also tidy in his work, gets that ball away downfield, down towards Joe Canning. Canning going into challenge, beating Brendan Maher to it, and across came Ronan Maher to win it back for Tipperary. That's good commitment, and John McGrath fires it, and it fires it off the post, and he's very unlucky.
Yeah, we mentioned the winner. I think a factor there. I think it held it up. Great block down again there by Ronan Maher. John McGrath, well, it was a difficult shot from the sideline, and unlucky hit the post.
It's Galway still by a point, but only 7 minutes into the second half. From the puck out, Tipperary have it again. Back down towards Seamus Calden, breaks it down. There's an incoming forward here. It's Bannermar. Forward here once again towards McGrath, trying to centre it towards Bubbles. Bubbles trying to get more into this match. He's been largely a peripheral figure. Bannermar trying to drive through, won by Aidan Hart again. Hand passed outside, a difficult one for David Burke to take, but he took it. He showed courage and commitment to get way downfield, and now it really is beginning to live up this All-Ireland semi-final. Pádraig Maher, steady, firing it forward here towards his namesake Brendan Maher. This should be cut out by Toohey. Needs a second touch. In came Calnan. Then in came Dáithí Burke. Dáithí Burke tries to get away from trouble. Fouled. It's going to be a free out. And Galway will be very glad of that.
Yeah, Jared, great passage to play. Much more direct hurling there. A bit of passion in it. Seamus Callan a bit high there, I'd say, on Adrian Toohey, but Dáithí Burke picked it up coming in behind and won the free.
The foul there by Bannermar. Free's been taken. And that ball's gone marvellously wide of the target. Missed opportunity from Galway's point of view. Colm Callan there.
Yeah, the leg slitter, Ger, travelled way further than anybody thought, and the first thing we were all thought, underage, somebody on the end line, no one there to keep on in play.
This ball is pucked out here towards John O'Dwyer. Can't take it. Goes again, however, to challenge Johnny Cohen. Then it's run back by Brendan Maher. Hitting it, looking up admiringly because it's gone straight between the uprights and over the bar. He's got a second.
Yeah, good play there by Seamus Kennedy, and Brendan Maher really, after maybe a quiet first quarter, has really thundered into this game. And
Jason Flynn.
Sorry, Jason Flynn in there now, yeah. He'll bring a different sort of threat.
Player who's coming on for Michael is Cathal Mannion. Well, he got 2 goals in the league final in Limerick on a fateful day for Galway. This time it's Conor Whelan who's won that, fouled. He's causing all kinds of bother in there for the Tipperary full back line. Really in very good form. When you consider it's only his 3rd year in the championship and he's just 20 years of age.
Well, Jared, I was going to say that I was a little bit surprised Cathal Mannion taking off. I see him coming back on now, and I'd say Niall Burke is the man they meant to take off. I would have thought Niall Burke wasn't in the game.
That looks to be the case. Tennis coming back on. Yeah, they've changed their mind at now the number 14 going up, so it's got to be Niall Burke, as you say, Michael.
Yeah, he's been quiet. Like, Cathal Mannion has been lively. He hasn't been on the ball that much, but
he's more of a threat than Niall Burke.
Well, more of a scoring threat, I think, as the game goes into the crucial last 15-20 minutes.
Joe Canning again now. He's 28 years of age. Low trajectory. Has he got the necessary accuracy? No, he hasn't. Wide again. Yes, one of those days.
Yeah, it was a difficult free, but Joe didn't really hit it with any great conviction and gave it no chance.
Team still level. 10 minutes into the second half. That's won back once again here by Gearóid McInerney. Surrounded by Tipperary players, managed to get it out towards David Burke. Under pressure there from Pádraig Maher. And down went Burke after that. And if ball goes into the square, real dangerous situation. Cleared out eventually, but not terribly convincingly out. Out it comes. Mickey Cahill followed it out. That was enough, and Pádraig Maher completes the clearance, lifts the siege down towards Calnan, spills loose here. McGrath's in after it. Out there came Mannion to try and get that ball, and it comes out to Aidan Hart. Aidan Hart, the left half back of Galway, racing clear of the challengers. Back downfield it comes into the hands of Conor Cooney, drops it, tries to go after it, second time of asking. James Barry kicks it away. Cathal Mannion tries to pick it up. Instead it's Noel McGrath elegantly coming in here, has time, delivers it forward towards his younger brother, can't take it. Pádraig Mannion can. Spots where a support player is, it's Hart. Took too long to get that ball. In the end it's John McGrath picking it up. Flicked forward by Noel McGrath. Under pressure there is Gearóid McInerney, facing back towards his own end line. Likewise, Dáithí Burke. Across comes Seamus Calnan. Shows great vision. That is a great ball. Brilliantly done. And that should go over the bar at the end of it all, will it? But it doesn't. It would have been a marvellous score.
And maybe a passage of play that sums up the game that we've been looking. Some brilliant play, brilliant vision by Shane McCallum, but then a poor wide. And there's an awful lot of tension out there. You saw Aidan Hart dropping a ball that he should have caught. It's just, this is the pressure now that's going to come on to Galway mentally with 20 minutes to go. And, you know, they've lost so many tight games over the years. Will they be able to handle it today? That's the question.
Tui down here. Hit in here by Cathal Mannion. It's going to drop short. It's a goalkeeper's ball once again. Gleeson back out to 65 metres out from the Galway goal. Galway winning it in numbers again there. David Burke, lots of bodies in the centre of the field. Down to take that one, Dan McCormack. Picked up by Pádraig Maher. Maher striking, looking at the target. Umpires nod in agreement. And it's a second point for the Tipperary captain.
Yeah, brilliant score. And you know, has there been a more consistent hurler over the last 5 or 6 years than Tipperary's captain? What a leader on the field. Brilliant score when they needed it. And you saw David Burke again there running over a ball that normally he'd pick up at his ease. And this is the difference at the moment. The Tipperary leaders come to the fore.
And Tipperary lead by a point. And McCormack gets it back in once again. But it's stopped there by Garrod McInerney. Thundering out. Lost the hurley. Takes the shoulder from Bubbles. Loses it at the end to Bonner Marr. Back it comes once again towards Pádraig Mannion. Mannion looks, sees a colleague just ahead of him. That's Johnny Cohen. Spills loose from him. Real intensity in it now. Pádraig Maher goes back under ferocious pressure from Cooney and from Whelan. Whelan has it, slips it forward here. Conor Cooney trying to dodge around the goalkeeper and across at the end to block it out. And it's gone. The referee has decided to call back the play. It's going to be a free. It's going to be a free from about 20 metres out. Yeah. And the referee...
It's going to be a free and a yellow card. He's not happy at all. Darren, great play there by, first of all, Conor Cooney, then Conor Whelan throws it onto him. But watch Darren Gleeson. He came very quickly off his line, went to take him out of it. And good defending there again. It's a yellow card, I'd say, for Darren Gleeson.
So Gleeson, the one being spoken to after Donna Maher had come in at the very, very end of that. A yellow card for the goalkeeper, appearing in his 4th All-Ireland semi-final in a row. So the consequence of that will be a free to Galway. Canning to take it. 20 metres from the target. Not going to miss those easy close-in frees. That's his 6th of the day. And the team's now level for the 10th time. Who's going to win it? This is what happened again here as Conor Cooney was raiding, and it was cynical on the part of Darren Gleeson. Got a yellow card for it. Galway got the point. 15 minutes into the second half. Under pressure here is Hambury. John McGrath towards Bubbles. Touched away by Mannion. Good shoulder coming in there from Tui. Garrod McInerney takes it out, but it was a great piece of intervention that time on the part of Pádraig Mannion. It comes back to Cathal Mannion, his brother. Challenged there by Brendan Marr. Well, that was some wonderful defending there, really top class. Watch this. That was Pádraig Mannion flicking it away from Noel McGrath. A perilous situation. At the other end, a point is produced. A score for Galway. And it's Joseph Cooney with a second point.
Absolutely.
17 points to 113. Galway ahead by 1. 51 minutes into the match. Into Bubbles. Great delivery. Beautiful laid off. Here's a chance for Noel McGrath. What a stop by Colm Callanan. Brilliantly done. Well, whatever about the goal that beat him earlier on, he was absolutely certain he was not going to be beaten a second time. And that is a splendid save.
Super save. Lovely play there by Jason Ford. Set up Noel McGrath. Both teams now begin to find that bit of room up front, and you'd be surprised if there's not a couple more goals in this game yet.
Well, we look like we're in for an absolutely super finish to this match. Not to be missed. It really is tense. Seamus Callanan going to take the resultant 65. He's got 5 points to his name already. 4 of those are from frees. Deep intake of breath. Pressure upon him. Central position. Strikes it away to the left-hand side, and he scoffed that one. Just when it mattered most. and Galway still lead by a solitary point. The All-Ireland champions bidding to get back into the final once again. Galway trying to deny them. Colm Callan all the way down the centre here. James Barry got it out as far as Dan McCormack. There was a holding violation there, and it's got to be a free out for Tipperary.
Yeah, silly free there, Joe Canny to give away, 100 yards from his own goals or more, no danger. He's back to the goals and he gives a free away, and we saw Brendan Maher scoring a long-range one earlier in the game.
Here comes Johnny Glynn. And he comes on in place of Cathal Mannion. Second change made by the Galway management team. Can Johnny Glynn, the man who's come back, make a big, big difference? Came on in the league final as well. He's had a spell in America. He played with New York, indeed, in the Connacht Football Championship last year. Brendan Maher takes this free, drops it in 20 metres out from the goal area. It bounces around in there. Who's going to get it? It's Calman. Loses it. McInerney just got a vital touch to that. Out came Pádraig Mannion, trying to get it to Hart. Aidan Hart has it, dances away from the challenges, slips the hand pass back out to Joseph Cooney. Cooney way back down towards Conor Whelan, trying to lose his man. James Barry's had a very good match. This time collects, needs his goalkeeper. Darren Gleeson steadies himself and fires it way back down the field again. Middle of the second half. Once again it's Garrod McInerney collecting it, giving it in there towards Joe Canning, looking up at it, watching it, and the ball's gone over the bar. Only he can do that. Daring and fearless in everything he does.
Absolutely. Garrod McInerney's had an unbelievable second half. Brilliant catch, and Canning didn't even look from 90 yards straight over the bar. That's an inspirational score. And you said they had a big half-forward line a while ago with Johnny Glynn in it. Now it's huge.
It's advantage Galway by 2. Hart batting it out. Collected here well, however, by John O'Dwyer. And O'Dwyer needs a score. Tipperary need a score. He's got it. It's his second point. Back in business again. It's only a 1-point match. It really is anybody's semi-final, and they'll fight tooth and nail to get that place in this year's All-Ireland final.
Yeah, very tidy score by Bubbles. One thing that Joseph Cooney is doing a little bit is dropping very deep for those puck-outs. He's leaving that space where he should be himself.
Conor Cooney couldn't get to that one, so Ronan Maher comes across here, under pressure from Johnny Glynn. Inside towards James Barry, out eventually via Pádraig Maher. Oh, it was a great catch by Bubbles O'Dwyer, but he's over the sideline, surely. Eventually the linesman's flag is noted. John Keenan from Wicklow. What about this?
Great catch. Donna Maher had, again, the slight mistake. Pucking is so near to the sideline. He had all the time in the world to place that infield a bit and give him a chance, but pucked it close to the line and he's knocked that over the line.
It reminded me of a cricket fielder. Got up brilliantly.
Bit of a difference between this and cricket. No tea breaks here.
No tea breaks. Brendan Maher back again. Garrod McInerney to take. He's immense. He's got a player in front of him who wants it. It's his captain, David Burke. Fumbles initially. Goes again. Back in again towards Johnny Glynn. Throws it back out again towards Canning. Joe Canning getting away from 2 markers. And it was eventually
out for 65, I think, yeah.
James Barry's stick, I think, for that 65. He could have had a point.
Yeah, it opened up from there. Well, normally you'd see goals from Joe there, but in fairness, put a good block by James Barry. Could have ended up in the net, but he did well to get the hurl to it.
Well, he's got to go out and take it himself.
I mentioned Garrod McInerney. Look at this again. He's just been unbelievable in the second half. Comes out and had the vision. David Burke dropped it initially. Johnny Glynn got his hands and saw the overlap, and it was a great chance of a goal, really.
He's now replicating the performance he turned in Limerick, I must say, all those months ago in the league final. But this is a totally different game. This really is close. This is anyone's. Joe Canning, once again, standing over this, giving himself every opportunity. And he doesn't miss. It's an 8th. 19 points to 114, 19-70. Both sets of fans now raising the decibel level. A very, very vibrant atmosphere at Croke Park. Broken down here this time. One back by Seamus Kennedy, who scored already, but right now he's the supplier. And it comes into Noel McGrath. What stylish work that was. A second for McGrath, but a team score. Great combination, lovely play, great finish.
It was indeed, and again, you know, it's hard to see it watching on television, but Joseph Cooney, when the ball broke, he was way back in his own half-back line, back out to Seamus Kennedy again, and he's picked up 3 or 4 balls in the very same position in the second half.
Galway still leading, just a point in it. This is collected back there by Mickey Cahill. Has Paddy Maher available to help out. Plenty of Galway players here to try and win this, but it's touched on by Bubbles O'Dwyer instead. Back there goes Daithí Burke, cool as you like, very calm, gets it down to Johnny Glynn. Unchallenged, target practice, fails the test however. Could have done a lot better with that and a lot more. That's 10 wides now. That's the last thing that Galway needed.
Yeah, I think Daithí Burke could have left that inside in the full forward line. You know, that's where the threat is, but in fairness to the Tipperary full back line, they've stayed at their task. They had a poor opening 20 where Galway scored 5 or 6 points, but James Barry in particular, and Michael Cahill and Donna Maher have had very good second halves as well.
Once again, some pressure on that Galway full back line there, and they've been under a fair amount of it. It's going to be a free out for a foul by Tipperary. Once again, Donald O'Grady, what do you make of it at this stage, Donald?
Well, John, I feel that Galway's use of the ball has been quite poor. I think if you go back to the league final against Tip, they moved the ball from the half-back line to the half-forward line, and then when they got a little bit of space, they moved it inside. This game, they're just levelling the ball in and hoping for the best, and I think if they change that tactic, maybe move Joe Kenny inside the full forward line, I think will benefit them more.
Well, let's see what will happen. Colm Calden taking the free to 20 metres out from the Tipperary goal. Broken down here, it's Flynn. Scored 2 goals in the league final, denied this time, and it's hit out by Paddy Maher. Superb defensive work, real battle. Hart touches it down. Coming onto it is Pádraig Mannion, collected by Johnny Glynn. Slip back outside to the captain David Burke, and David Burke has, well, they're not sure. It's going to be a Hawkeye moment.
David Burke, a brilliant midfielder, but for some reason today there's so many balls dropping out of his hand. Maybe it's the pressure of the captaincy and the All-Ireland final, but he looks disappointed. I'm not sure that is over the bar.
We had the real Hawk here a little while ago getting rid of pigeons, but it's Hawkeye now, and is that a Neil? It is, he's missed it. Neil Chakadaha, not allowed. Stays at 19 points to 115. Galway still ahead by 1 point, and as you can see, we're on to the last 10 minutes of this game. They advance once again here. McCormack stopped. Adrian Toohey came across here. That was important. Good as you like there. Adrian Toohey getting it out. All the way down towards Jason Flynn. Flynn couldn't hold on to it. Collision of bodies. Johnny Glynn lent his weight quite considerably in that. Wins it. Picks it up. Glynn goes. He's been a star so often in the past. He's got Flynn away. He's got Joe Canning on this side, and that ball's gone wide. Another glorious chance.
Yeah, great vision by Johnny Glynn. A great hand pass. Joe Canning did the right thing and just out by the post. He nearly hit it too well. And here you are, Jason Flynn breaks onto the ball and watch Pádraig Maher came across. I think that was a free in, maybe a penalty. Came across him, but put him off enough for Darren Lees to be able to make the save. And Galway have had a couple of good chances there now, and you know, will this fear of winning come back to haunt him again?
Niall O'Mara has just come on, Michael, and he's come on for the man who was a sub earlier on, Jason Ford. Ford had scored a point, but didn't add to that. It's about who's going to get the next score now at this stage. Pádraig Mannion held as he was coming out of defence there. So a free to Galway. Galway 1 point in front. Niall O'Mara has so often in the past managed to come up with a couple of vital scores for Tipperary. They're going to need them. Pádraig Mannion's going to hit this one himself.
Johnny Glynn has moved into the edge of the square. Pádraig Mannion's a long striker.
So can he land it in there towards Glynn? Bounces around. The goalkeeper's able to collect it very calmly. Back out again. Back out towards Brendan Maher. His work rate has been wonderful today. Ronan Maher effective at centre half back. Up towards John McGrath. Brings it in brilliantly. McGrath. Tip needing a score, and McGrath's the provider. Got on a point for McGrath. The teams are level once more with 8 minutes of the 70 remaining.
Yeah, another great battle. Adrian Toohey and John McGrath. McGrath's got a goal in the pint too. He's had many great moments there, but that's a fantastic catch. The ability to catch a ball from the air is a game changer in hurling, and John McGrath's one of the best in the business. Super catch and a great score.
You wouldn't bank on this one ending in a draw. Could happen. Paddy Maher back out here. It's Niall O'Mara getting involved in towards Noel McGrath from the middle of the field. It's a huge one by McGrath, but it's going to drop away to the left-hand side. Bit of a hit and hope on that one, which Colm Callan is able to keep in play, and with the help of John Hanbury begin the next offensive. Johnny Cohen trying to knock it down. In came the other number 8 Brendan Maher. Then it's Paddy Maher off to Dan McCormack. They tried to make gradual progress there with John O'Dwyer involved as well. John Hanbury stepping in, winning that. Hanbury challenged by 2 players. One of them was Bonner Maher. Hanbury still going forward, and that ball out of play eventually. At least it takes a little bit of the pressure off his defence.
Yeah, I think he's had a super game. Very, very determined. You know, he had a couple of tough days here in Croke Park against Tip, but he's playing really, really well today.
Joe Canning hits the sideline ball in diagonally across here over towards Joseph Cooney. The next score is important, you would feel. Who's going to get it? Cooney hand passing it back towards David Burke. Swings around, makes an angle. It's tight, it comes off the post. How many times has the post been hit today? 3 or 4 times. Joe Canning keeps it in play. Back it goes. It's high, it's over the bar. 9 for Canning. A real tour de force by him. And it's 20 points to 116. That's Galway in the lead once again.
And some piece of skill by Joe Canning made it look so easy. David Burke again with an easy chance. Here's Bonner Maher now onto it.
Bonner Maher trying to come right through the centre here. Garrod McInerney and Dahi Burke trying to keep him out. Calnan, very dangerous, swinging it, and the ball has gone off a defender. It's gone for a 65. So a point chance coming up for Tipperary from a 65. Seamus Calnan right in the thick of it.
The Tip crowd booing. I think Barry Kelly, they're feeling they're getting it a bit harder to get their frees, but there hasn't been that many frees on both sides. Joe Canning has only scored 4 for Galway. I know he's missed a couple, and Seamus Callan scored 3 for Tip.
Barry Kelly, one of the most experienced officials in hurling. This wonderful hurling championship that we're having this year. This is the first of the semi-finals. More drama coming up on the Sunday Game Live next Sunday afternoon. Cork v Waterford. But the first question, which of these teams will be the first to make it to the final? Calnan has got 5 so far. As you can see from the score, his team a point down. Very important. And he has missed it. It's gone wide. They can't believe it.
Incredible, you know, it's so unusual. That's 2 he's missed in the second half. We've seen Joe missing 3 frees as well. We don't normally expect it, but the nerves affect everybody, and that's what that was. Just struck it outside the post.
Slight advantage to Galway then. Heading inside the last 5 minutes of the 70. Collected by Ronan Maher. Plenty of time left for both of these teams to do something special. Dan McCormack racing ahead, pursued by Johnny Cohen. Eventually that ball hit in high and over the bar. A vital score by John O'Dwyer, his 3rd point of the match. They may have missed 65s, but they didn't miss this one. And John O'Dwyer from Killinall, the 25-year-old, ties it up for the 12th time.
Incredible score. The way he moved towards Dan McCormack to give him the option to take the pass and then to stick it over the bar. One of the best scores of the game.
It's there for the taking at this late stage. Tipperary have it back from their own half-back line. Seamus Kennedy up towards Calvin, can't get to it. Instead it's Adrian Toohey who's got there first, down injured. Player had to go off at half-time last year because of a hand injury. He's won a free this time, and coming back to take it looks to be David Burke. That's where he got across, made certain. He's added great solidity to that Galway full back line this year, Adrian Toohey, by his presence in there. Francis Ford, one of the selectors, along with Micheál Donoghue, of course. Everybody now just on edge, tense. You can sense it all around Croke Park. Yeah. In a crowd of 68,000.
Joe Canning has come out now to take it. Just noticed Johnny Glynn has moved in corner forward, and Pádraig Maher has gone back into Markham, and Donna Maher has come out centre back on Cathal Mannion, or Conor Whelan, who's moved out the field.
And that lady and that man just wondering what Joe's going to do next. Teams level, 3 minutes to go. Joe's got 9 so far. This is Such a huge distance out. 90 metres from the target. He's got a 10th.
Yeah, well, he might have missed a few earlier on, but that's a brilliant free from Joe Canning.
21 points.
Yards out. Brilliant score.
21 points to 117. Galway edging it. Tip trying to respond. Darren Gleeson. Real brilliant sporting drama coming to you from Croke Park. Two brilliant teams. Adrian Toohey showing determination, out to Hart, quick as ever, down into the inside forward line. Whelan touches it down, goes after it himself, scampers away. Paddy Marr's after him, determined to try and catch him, can't do so, puts pressure on, and Whelan hits it wide. And it's wide, number 13.
And that's great work by Tariq Maher. You know, he stood him up, he put the pressure on. Conor Whelan really probably should have turned and headed for the goals, but he took the shot, and Tariq Maher put as I say, made himself large in front of him and made him force him to puck it wide.
This one is broken down again by the Galway defenders, but onto it comes Dan McCormack. McCormack looks at it but realises it's gone to the right hand side of the target. Last couple of minutes of this match. Galway 21, Tipperary 117, that's 20 points. Michael Ryan wondering, will his side be the team that will be in the All-Ireland final to oppose either Cork or Waterford? So are the fans. Colm Callan pucking it out, down towards Johnny Glynn this time, and again Tariq Maher takes responsibility to go across, touch it down. Joseph Cooney picks it up, fires it back in, but in haste and poorly wide. It's another one got astray, and we're heading towards stoppage time. There is another change for Galway, and Shane Maloney has come on, and you know what he did 2 years ago? Got the winner against Tip. And the player who's gone off for them is Conor Cooney. Cooney had some brilliant moments, it has to be said, and scored 2 points. Caught a lot of very good ball. They're freshening things up. Darren Gleeson. There'll be 4 minutes, I'm told, of additional time. Tipperary have it. O'Dwyer goes after it. 4 go after him. Can't catch him. Bonner Maher then crashes in as well to try and get to it, and in the end it goes off a Tipperary leg or stick, and it's going to be a line ball for Galway. Cramp is beginning to set in as well, and there goes Johnny Cohen down, probably requiring a moment or two. So we're into the 4 minutes of added time now. Galway just shading it.
Yeah, look, a big caller, Barry Kelly is asking Garrett McInerney to leave the field with a blood injury. He seems to have a cut in the hand. They need to get him back in there as quick as they can. He's having a mighty battle with Bonner Maher. They can't afford to be without him. Johnny Cohen down with a little bit of cramp. And we'll see.
Greg Lally. Yeah,
Greg Lally going in. Man with a bit of experience as well, but McInerney has to be got back in there as quick as they can.
Greg Lally from Gort steps into the breach for Gearóid McInerney. Line ball taken by David Burke. Galway trying to win this one. Tipperary trying to knock it away from them. Nobody able to make any headway immediately. Stalemate situation, everybody appealing for it. The decision goes Tipperary's way. She can't look.
She's in a bad way.
Noel McGrath hitting it infield. What a good vision that is once again. Here's a chance. A little block down it as Mickey Cahill was hitting that one. And coming to take it here is Adrian Toohey. Toohey hand passing it forward there towards Greg Lally. The man who's come on as a blood sub. Down into the inside forward, but there's only one man there, Johnny Glynn, in maroon colours. It's won by James Barry instead. Back out into the centre towards Dan McCormack. Tipperary lifting the siege. They've got a free as well. McCormack was fouled, and there's a chance maybe for Tipperary to level the game here.
Yeah, bad ball there by Greg Lally. He hit it straight down to James Barry. Almost any place else, if he put a diagonal on it, he would have given Jonathan Glynn a chance to get to it. And interestingly now, Shane McCallan not going to take this. Brendan Maher taking the responsibility.
Gearóid McInerney is back in again. Off goes Lally. Brendan Maher, as you say, in fact, is it Brendan or it is Brendan Maher? Brendan to take 2 points so far. He pointed late in the quarter-final against Clare down in Porky Queeve. Last year's captain, takes the responsibility and lands it over the bar. Good decision by the manager to give it to Brendan Maher, and a 3rd point for him. 2 from frees. Does any team deserve to qualify today, I wonder?
Yeah, we've still a couple of minutes to go. There's going to be more chances.
2 minutes to go. The referee might add on a few more because of the stoppages. It's back once again via Noel McGrath. Tip trying to win it. Stopped brilliantly here by Daithí Burke. Outside to Mannion like a conjurer, held on to it. The hand goes in then, and that's a foul committed by Niall O'Mara, and it's a free out for Galway.
And Joe's gone back. He's gone back an awful long way, but he's determined to take it.
1 minute to go of the 4 minutes of added time, but the referee will be perfectly within his rights to add on a few more seconds for any stoppages that he has noted. Micheál Donoghue making instructions, issuing orders. Everybody tense, nervous, and wondering what a time to win, but what a time to lose as well. Anything can happen.
What a catch by Daithí Burke there as well. You know, Pádraig Mannion got under a bit of pressure. Joe stealing the yard again. I can hear the crowd. He's after stealing the yard. It could be the one that makes the difference.
It might be. He's got 10 points in this match out of Galway's tally of 21. Sides level. Last minute of injury time. He's inside his own 45. Short. That is short. Dropping in dangerously, however. Oh! Goalkeeper made a great save. James Barry gets it away. Well done to Brendan Gleeson, or Darren Gleeson rather, to keep that one out. And it comes out to Johnny Cohen. Cohen, Galway looking for another one. It's Canning once again, firing it in from near the sideline. It's a miracle shot. It's gone over the bar. Galway are in front.
And the time is up. What a score by Joe Canning. Johnny Cohen had the vision. Will Barry Kelly blow it up?
11 points for Joe Canning. Galway by 1. Will Tipperary get one more chance? O'Dwyer responding. It's going left. It's gone wide. It's now up to the referee. 22 points to 118. That's 22-21. Galway.
I'd say that it's 40 minutes in, 40 seconds over.
There won't be much more. He's pointing the way, telling the goalkeeper, let fly, it's all over. Galway are in the All-Ireland final of 2017. Micheál Donoghue has them back in the final once again, and Tipperary, last year's marvellous champions, bow out. It was a terrific second half in particular. It's a match that really and truly could have gone either way. You see what it means to Noel McGrath, but you also see what it means to the manager of Galway, Micheál Donoghue, and his squad of players. What a second half, what drama, and what a finish by Joe Canning to put that one over the bar from on the sideline. His 11th point of the match was a winner.
Well, Ger, I'm nearly breathless. There was mistakes there, but there was unbelievable hurling and scores. And the couple of points that Joe Canning scored in the end, he scored a long free. He scored a long free, and then that last one, Johnny Cohen had the vision, but he just had that split second to take it, and he missed a few frees. He's had a lot of heartbreak over the years. It's only a semi-final. That's what Micheál Donoghue will say when he gets the chance. But a great win for Galway.
The full-time score here in the first of the All-Ireland Hurling semi-finals. It's Galway 22 points, Tipperary 1 goal in 8. Galway the winners. And Joe Canning is with Joanne.
Joe, congratulations. That wasn't a bad way to finish, was it?
Yeah, it's I suppose over the last 3 years it's been nip and tuck. Only a point in it, so it's good to come out on the right side of it this year anyway, you know.
It looked like you really, really wanted to take that last one. You wanted to get your hands on that slitter to get the chance to stick it over the bar.
Sorry?
That last point that you got to win it looked like you were demanding that you wanted that slitter so you could get the chance to stick it over.
I don't know if Johnny didn't turn around. Yeah, it's just lucky it went over. Like, I remember a couple of years ago against Waterford, I had the same thing to draw the match and I missed it. So it's nice when it comes off on a day like today.
Does that go through your head when you're in the middle of the match and you're at this stage?
Not really, you know. You're just trying to get the strike. To be honest, it could have went anywhere, you know. It wasn't a great day with the freeze or anything like that, so I'm just lucky that it went over in the end.
It looked nearly like you and Galway struggled to get you involved in the game for much of it, but towards the second part of the second half, things seemed to go a bit better for you.
Yeah, you know, they had a kind of an extra man with Dan McCormack sitting kind of in the pocket a little bit in the first half, and we didn't kind of go through the lines, I suppose, and the boys were doing fine inside, you know. It doesn't matter if the ball is going through our half-forward line or not, as long as the boys are doing the business inside, because that's our scoring zone in the full forward line. And Wheelo, Cooney and Niall Burkin and J.O. and Johnny Glenn and all the boys did very well there today, you know.
What sort of pressure did you feel under today? Because this is a Galway side this year expected to go out in an All-Ireland semi-final and beat the defending champions.
It's pressure every day you go out, you know. It's no different no matter what. So you try and embrace it and you try and get a performance. And you know, the hop of the ball went our way today and it went theirs last year.
And I know that score from you at the end would be what an awful lot of people will remember, but how good a defensive display was it from Galway today?
Brilliant, you know. Dahi caught a ball there at the end, you know, and broke out with it, you know. So the boys were unreal there today, and that Tipperary forward line are you know, the best around. So to nullify them as much as we could, we did very well.
Well, congratulations, Joe. You made them a very noisy bunch. Well done.
Well, tremendous excitement here at Croke Park, and that's only in our Sunday game studio. Great excitement between Liam Sheedy and Cyril Fowler. Henry Shefflin trying, if it wasn't for the bad leg, Henry, I'd ask you to step in there. Cyril, obviously, what a game, what a way to... I suppose, lads, the first thing we should do is pay tribute to both teams here.
Yeah,
because another fantastic
Michael,
game.
look, last year, point for Tip, the year before for Galway, as Joe said there, who I think is maturing into a great leader. Like we played today, kind of half injured, great player, took responsibility. But like the second half, points, you know, scores, great scores, brilliant saves by Colm Canlan. First half and the second half. If they went in, I think, you know, Tip would drive on. Tip played well, had great individual displays as well. But look, it just shows you when the game, it was all, say, 6 against 6 in the backs of ours, 2 midfield, you know what I mean? Johnny Cohen, the boys here, to be fair, shouted on Johnny to turn. The new Joe was on the outside. But you'd have to say Joe Cannon stepped up. Like, in the long range freeze, he went there to take a long one. He went for it. Didn't get it, but he was still in the right spot again to get the pass out from Johnny Cohen. And he was made to take responsibility. That's what you want, especially when it isn't kind of flowing for you at times. Like, it was a hard day enough, you know.
I suppose the thing about it is, Cyril, in situations like that, as they say, form is temporary, class is permanent.
Well, that's always the way. Like, that's for two lads. Jason Flynn came on there, didn't get on the ball much. He has brilliant ability, lost a bit of form, but they'll all come back again. The lads made the moves. I thought Johnny Cohen had a great game. And Pádraig Mannion to me this year, number 5. He's playing out of his skin. Like the boys would say, this guy has really stood up. He's really every day he plays. Garrod McInerney, I'd say the best game I've seen him play, and that in the league final. A tribute as good as his father as any day, and that's being a high tribute. But they still have to go on. That's only a semi-final.
I know.
You know,
Fair,
for the next day.
But I think overall, I think, Michael, to be fair, the Hurling Championship has been brilliant, and it was a brilliant game again today. And to be fair to Tipperary, they were All-Ireland champions, and they fought like All-Ireland champions.
Totally.
They fought to the bitter end, and it took 2 teams. But it was look, we were real hurling men. And we were just on the edge of our seats there. It was just tip for tat, goal chances, freeze, miss, freeze over the bar.
And none of us would have minded if we were coming back in a week's time.
No. Fair results.
And in fairness, like there was that element of tension in it because like there was frees missed and there was scores not taken because like a semi-final is a really tense occasion because when you get to the final you feel like you've achieved something. So today like there was a bit of nervousness there. Both of them had chances. They couldn't squeeze them on. But look, at the end of the day, look, from a Tipperary perspective, you know, maybe I'd love to see a second day, but to be fair to Galway, it took a great score to finish with it.
And your lads, they died with their boots on, didn't they? All right, now we have a break coming up right now. We're back with more on today's big match straight after that.
Micheál, congratulations. What you put that down to? Bottle, heart, skill?
I think so, but look, you know, I think after an epic encounter like that, you know, it's hard, I think, for anyone just to look at Galway. You know, I think huge credit has to go to Tipperary. You know, it was another epic encounter in the trilogy, and you know, I think it's shown how close the two teams yet again that it's just another point between them.
Epic is definitely the word to use. There seemed to be nerves actually early on in the match. Did you think that?
Look, probably, yeah, I think the first few minutes, but you know, maybe it's just teams getting to see what the other is up to and stuff. And look, I suppose just the stakes are so high today, and obviously in trying to get into the final. So it turned into a cracker in the second half.
There were so many moments you can pick out. Let's pick first of all the main one that everybody's going to remember, and that was that point from Joe at the end. Did you think once he got it, and it looked like he really badly wanted to get that in his hand as well, did you know at that stage that was going over the bar?
Look, he has that quality, you know what I mean. He's shown that right throughout his career, and you know, look, obviously when he gets the ball in that position, because of the talent that he has, there's always a chance that it's going to go over. But look, you know, it was some score to win the game.
Certainly was. There were times it looked nearly as if you struggled to get Joe and a couple of your players involved in the game. Would that be fair?
Yeah, look, and I think it's a fair comment. And you know, the second half we just kept trying to move them to get them into the game. I think, you know, in a game of that magnitude, you're trying to get your big players on the ball as much as you can, and that's what we tried to do. And you know, look, we're just lucky and fortunate that he turned up in the right place at the right time.
You've been in All-Ireland finals before. Well, your Galway team has anyway. How can you make this one different?
Look, we've said it previously, you know, the team has to draw from the good experiences and the bad experiences. You know, our mantra the whole year is just, you know, take whatever learnings and workings from whatever game we compete in and try and bring it into the next game. And, you know, I know it's going to be hard, but, you know, we'll get back to training this week now and getting back to brass tacks.
It's definitely a good experience today. Well done, Micheál.
Thanks very much.
And of course, obviously, you can't win the final if you're not in it, and they are in it. Henry Shefflin, I put it to you that this is good for Galway in the sense that it's been a tough match for them today, like Tip threw everything at it. You wouldn't want to be going sailing into an All-Ireland final, let's say.
No, like that's better than 5 weeks training, that game alone. You know, Tip just put into the pin in the collar. But there was two things for me. You know, we all questioned whether Galway, with 20 minutes to go, Joe hadn't scored from play, Galway were hanging in there. It was the massive test we said beforehand. They reacted. Joe got 3 points from play, stood up, real leadership. And that's the difference with Galway this year. If I was a Tipperary man like Liam, the only thing I would have questioned today was Barry Kelly. There was 3 soft frees given in the second half that could have an impact. It was a 1-point game. So, you know, those are the small things that goes and comes. Seamus obviously missed a couple of 65s as well. So, but to be fair to Galway and Joe, like, just unbelievable. And they deserve to be in the All-Ireland final.
Well, I'll tell you what, after matches like that, you come out every day of the week to watch. By the way, sir, you're going to have to go home and wash the socks and put them in the drawer. Sir, you're wearing the maroon socks here in the studio.
I got a lot of stick and gall for tipping them.
I thought you were going to say for wearing the socks.
Yeah, they're from the race week, had nothing else to wear. But look, as the boy said, it was a great game to look at. You had great scores, you had great tackles, you had hard tackles, everyone got up and fought on, you had missed scores. Both goalies played very well. I was delighted for Darren Gleeson. He had a great game as well to come back.
Fantastic.
Mickey Cahill knows how to play cornerback. But look, Galway back in the All-Ireland. They know well they have to win it, to still, you know, but they stand a great chance. They've won the Welsh Cup, they've won the league, they've won the Leinster title. Now, wouldn't it be lovely now to win the All-Ireland? You know what, like, we'd have no winter in Galway, we'd forget about the wind and rain, it'd be a happy place to be.
It's always a happy place to be.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
All right, lads. So that's another piece of the puzzle solved then. Galway have made it into this year's big hurling decider, and now, of course, they have to await their opposition. Now, I hope that you can join me, by the way, tomorrow. That's for the football replay between Mayo and Roscommon. But in the meantime, from all of us here at Croke Park, take care.